We are back. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
You're back again.
Now, who brought the marshmallows?
I left those back at Mombasa. Can we just turn the train around?
I left it in New York. Can we just forget about this?
That's more reasonable. I second that vote.
I don't know what they're talking about. Most of the time, actually. So, hi, we're back. This is episode 4 of season 2 of our Master Nyarlathotep. And while I say season 2, just putting the seasons on each chapter, each locational chapter, to make things easier. We have Syrinscape in the background because Syrinscape does awesome stuff. We're using mostly, almost exclusively, I should say, the Mask of Nyarlathotep sound set from Syrinscape, which is a huge, massive sound set which has location upon location and encounter already set up for us, and there's other bits and pieces. There's other campaigns that they've got, so if you're running a campaign, there's generic stuff for you to use, or there's actual pre-written campaigns already in Syrinscape, so check them out at syrinscape.com. They are not a sponsor, but if they want to sponsor us, well, then give us money, whatever. Why not? We are using LoveMaps Cthulhu for our maps, because LoveMaps Cthulhu, we asked them, can we use your maps? And they went, yeah, here, have them all. We were going to pay for them, and they just gave them to us, and they're really, really cool. They're essentially the same maps you get in the game, in the products that you get, but they're just specifically designed for the virtual tabletops. The virtual tabletop that we have and that we use today, and that I certainly have a preference for, is Roll20. We are Roll20 ambassadors, and we're celebrating Roll20's 10th anniversary or 10th birthday this month, and giving away more than 10 games or CD keys, or not CD keys, but game keys this week, provided to us by Roll20 as a part of the ambassadorial program. So we're giving away 4 keys today. If you type in exclamation mark Roll20 in chat, you will enter yourself into that game. And I'm just going to make sure I've got that set up, because I really need to have it set up into the right thing to have it work. Okay, now I'm set up into the right thing. I'm not. There we go. No, I'm not. I've got to make sure it's working before I say those things. There, now I am. Okay. So if you type that in chat, it'll record you, and you'll be ready to essentially get in and have some fun. And you also get to choose from the wide variety of keys we have on the see, cast members. You get a choice of we've got over a dozen, probably just below 2 dozen different keys, from board games to popular role-playing games. I won't mention names, but popular role-playing games in there too. So we're giving away 4 a day, usually on their break, because it's just easier to do all that in the break. And afterwards, you get to pretty much, I'll give you the list, and you get to select which ones out of the list you want, and I'll give you the keys. That's a lot longer than I expected to talk about that, but it's important. We've also, the intro movie, or the intro audio, is done by Lorian Ross. Check him out at Lorian Ross at SoundCloud. Lorian has been part of this community for quite a while. He's one of our original cast members, and he's done a couple of intro movies, music for us. There is a more disturbed version of it in the break, when we come back from the break. So just a little bit of an audio warning for that one. But it's great fun. You've never done a jazz song before, and had a lot of fun experimenting with it. I just everyone's just, yeah. Anyway, MLP, you're not allowed to actually enter that.
I was testing it to make sure it was working.
Yeah, you're not allowed to enter because you're a moderator. So there.
Where's that in the rules? Anyway, keep going.
So mods can't enter, but you don't have to be a subscriber or a follower to enter. That's where it is in the rules. There. And let's do intros. Well, I've got to change Phoenix and Ian, but we'll start with Drakonyan while no one looks at the bottom of the screen. Oops. Well, that was me. So, Drakonyan?
So, hi, I'm Drakonyan. I have been playing Professor Sean McEoghan, linguistics professor from the University College of Dublin. And I got in this journey not for the cookies, but for the books. And I have not been disappointed. Not at all. There are quite many books that I have come across already. Some of them booklets, some of them big tomes. We'll find out more books as the adventure develops, I hope.
And we're not burning books, apparently.
That is bad.
Yes. Gabriela, do you want to burn your book?
Hey, I think we'll be a little bit ahead of schedule when it comes to burning books. Besides, we're not even in Berlin, Germany yet.
Ooh.
451 Fahrenheit said hi. Okay. Okay.
That's an
hi,
intellectual
my name is-
joke.
Hi, my name is Gabby, and that was a very horrible joke about
No.
burning books.
It was
I am-
perfect. It was perfect.
It
I am Gabby,
really did
and I
fit.
I am Gabby, and I support barbecuing with books. I'll be playing Dr. Lucianne today. Where am I?
Where are you?
Okay. I don't know.
We're on a train. It's okay. We're perfectly safe. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. We're perfectly fine. All is fine. Nothing to see here.
There is no war in Bossing Say.
There's no what?
Are we still allowed to make that reference?
Yes.
I
Sorry.
don't even know what that reference is, but okay.
At this point, I'm not sure. I'm not sure using that reference means you're too young or too old. I think it's right in between.
Yes.
And so if I'm too old, I don't get it. If I'm too young, I don't get it. Can I choose to be the too
Yes.
young and don't get it?
You can choose that.
Cool.
We have
'cause
no
I
way of knowing.
Totally don't get it. Hi, my name's Karsh Goblin. I'm one of the old farts of the channel. Actually, the oldest fart of the channel, but it's my channel, so hey, I don't care. I'm playing Sergeant Jack. It's enough. It's enough. I play Sergeant Jack Hunt. He is the dumb guy of the group. I love dumb characters because I can just put out stupid comments and everyone laughs at them, and I just say, hey, I'm just playing my character if doing those stupid comments. On top of that, he's like, yeah, we're in Africa. If you've read the title of the show, everything's fine. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing at all. Phoenix?
Hi, I'm Phoenix. I'm playing Alejandro Garcia. He is our trigger-happy, short, ugly guy who's funding this little expedition that Jack is in charge of, right?
Yeah, Jack's in charge, yes.
We're all gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me.
Eon?
Hi, I am Eon, and I am playing one Dr. Clinton Clay, who's a tired old cowboy who has apparently stumbled his way into a mess due to a favor of a friend and is currently confused as to why everybody's looking out the windows in a bit of a blind panic.
We'll probably find out what that's about quite soon, don't you think, MLP?
Well, you don't know yet. There could just be, fireflies.
Who knows?
Don't pay
Who
any.
knows?
Yeah, I'm MrLiveProducer. I'm your keeper for this evening, and it's been a very, very long few months. I've been working on a big project in the background, but I did the handoff yesterday. I am so very happy that it's handed off, so I can now spend more time crafting more eldritch horrors for you guys. So I'm very happy about that. So if anyone else has anything else you want to discuss, don't forget we have the donation system. They may need it.
And if you want details of the donation system, it's over there. Essentially, we don't ask for much, just $1 donations per time. Or if you subscribe or give subscribe, it also helps us out too. That's pretty much the short.
Please. Please, dear viewer. Can I live?
All
We're in Call
signs,
of Cthulhu. We don't have that option.
all signs point to
No. The Magic 8 Ball said
Ask
no.
again later.
You're so mean sometimes.
and this is news how.
You need to wear the shirt.
I need to buy the shirt first. I need to buy my own merch to wear the shirt.
And you're saying this like it's a limitation or a problem.
I've had jobs without me for the last few weeks. Anyway,
That's a different issue.
yeah.
That sounds
You
like a
could
you
say I've
problem.
been too busy to get it. That's a legitimate statement.
Well, I have been very too busy to get it. Either way, makes a note.
Mhm.
Go
Maybe it
towards
forgets the note.
Go towards the slowest person first.
Yep.
All right. If nothing else to happen, we'll begin. As last we left our investigators, they were investigating what the Carlisle expedition did in Mombasa before moving to Nairobi. With a living blood residue from the massacre site to finding out the Carlisle expedition didn't really allow photos to be published after they arrived in Kenya. The investigations leading the party to continue the investigations to Nairobi. In the morning, the party catches the train to Nairobi, and after a while into the travel, a burst of flame appears on either side of the train. Two small motes of fire are matching pace with the train. So, at the moment, you have on either side of the train, you have a blue fire mote, and on the other side of the train is a red fire mote. And I think it was Lucianne, and who was the other person who saw the blue one, and who saw the red one on the other side of the train?
I saw nothing. It's fine.
It'll
It's
kill you
fine.
whether you see it or not. So just as a heads up.
Usually speaking.
Also, before I forget, Alejandro is currently in the dining car having a nice sort of dinner with Loretta Miller.
Mhm.
You've seen that Loretta didn't have a nice trip on the boat, has been a bit skittish ever since landing. I think this is their first time in a new country, and they're just overwhelmed with everything. So you thought it'd be nice to take Loretta into the dining car to have a nice little meal, and over the sound of the train, roll me a listen check, please.
Uh-oh. First roll of the night.
Let's roll the night.
Oh, I need to check that now.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, I'm just moving something closer.
Closer doesn't sound nice though.
Oh no.
Eh.
Extreme success. Now you don't know if it's you've traveled a lot, so you have an inbuilt noise filter to the sound of boats, trains, cars, but you hear a sort of chanting on top of the roof about 5 meters away, and you hear, lack of a better term, not a thunking, but if you didn't know better, I swear it sounds like footsteps on top of the roof of a moving train.
Loretta, I believe our dinner is about to be cut short. I need to go get my bag.
And I would assume that your bag is with the rest of the party.
Probably.
Yes. Okay, so I'll move you to the other. No, that's the GM layer. You need to go to the token layer now. But what I will do is I'm going to go to the life layer. Why did I do it this way? There we go. Okay, so yeah, you can move now into the other part of the train.
Okay, I see everyone.
Yep. And as you cross the threshold, you can go into the next part of the train.
Look up.
Oh, do you look up?
I want my gun first.
Okay, don't look up.
I mean, without my gun, my neck won't allow me to.
You played video games. That's how first-person shooters work.
True. I remember Wolfenstein and Doom. You just couldn't look up.
Yeah.
I know a lot of games that won't let you do it until you have a gun.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I can pull you up, Switchy. All right. So as you
hi,
walk,
Alejandro. We might have company. As I point out the windows.
First, starts pulling out the rifle.
Oh,
Have you got a water gun in there?
A what? What? You seen these kind of things before? I've never seen a
What was that?
lamp be
Don't
traveling at the
harm.
pace of a train.
There's chanting on the roof and people on the roof. He's
Well,
loading
now
his
that's
gun.
just rude and dangerous.
and as you say this change on the roof, the way back towards where you were in the dining cart, lights on fire.
what?
Oh, hell.
Guns?
Fire extinguisher.
I got the sarsaparilla bottle. That's about it.
Okay.
God.
Are there any
So-
fire extinguishers in the car?
I would assume there'll be fire extinguishers. There's enough in there. You've also got a toilet to the lower further down over here.
Which, sorry?
Wasn't it
There's
usually
a-
buckets of sand at this point?
I think there would be both, because fire extinguishers were just coming into, they were just coming into effect at this point, but usually they were water-based as opposed to CO2-based that we have today.
Yes.
They would be classified modernly as a Type A fire extinguisher.
I will also point out that you also used to have fire extinguishing grenades at this point, which
Yes.
is really super scary and
Yeah.
unstable.
This
Really scary.
At this point, the fire extinguisher had been invented for 100 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
We would have one. Yeah.
Okay, so now could I get everyone to go to the character sheet and make sure your character is selected and roll me, add yourself to the turn tracker.
Do I have
Ah.
to? If I
you
don't, does
do.
it mean I win combat?
No, you don't.
No, it means you don't get to act.
Oh. I liked my version better.
It's like COVID tests. You know.
Select myself.
Maybe
and
you don't
then
want to know, but you just would better. You know.
Okay.
combat.
Yes.
Yeah, you select your avatar, and then if you go under the combat tab, Gabby,
Yeah.
there's initiative at the top.
Where it says dexterity.
Yeah.
Do I have to select my token to do it? Yeah.
You
I-
do,
I
yes.
Yeah. I automatically assume it is. Yep. There's the Sin and Drakonyan, so I think that's everybody.
Woot woot.
Right.
We did it!
Yay!
We
win combat.
successfully put initiative.
Oh.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
We're done.
As a GM and a player, that is nearly impossible to get like initiative right the first try.
Yes. Yes, it is. Speaking of both players and GM, yes, it is. Okay, so Alejandro, you move first. Now, combat in Call of Cthulhu is a little different. You
don't have to do that. He already has the biggest initiative. Come on.
well,
That just means he gets to probably go first.
yes.
If he shoots, is the thing.
Okay, well, Alejandro, I would say that you've had the time to get your guns and you have 2 fire motes on either side of the train, and they are about to start moving towards you, and you heard a noise on top of the previous train you were in, the dining cart with Loretta.
So there's a fire back on the eastern and the western side.
Oh no, there's nothing on the back yet. There's only
Okay.
on the eastern side at the moment,
Well,
blocking off the doorway.
Alejandro is heading that way because he wants to go up. Because I doubt there's a trap door in the train.
Okay.
Spot hidden.
Yeah, roll me a spot hidden, see if you can find a trapdoor, another way to get out.
Alrighty.
There are windows on the train, you can see out.
Yes, but those are much easier to fall out of.
Are the windows open or closed?
At the moment, they're closed.
Okay.
Hard success.
Welcome back, Phoenix.
I took a week off. Roll20 has decided to welcome me back.
Find some wood, please. We're in combat.
Okay, sorry. So,
You know,
are you...
Because I'm getting all my good rolls out now, during the combat.
Hence
I
why I
hope
asked you to
that's not
please
how
find
it
some
works.
wood.
Advanced fire... Token fire. Okay. So, from where you are right now, you look outside of the window, and you see a figure on top of the train. On your side of the train, about... Goes to my measurement stick. I need to actually go through that. About 21, 22 meters away. Quite a distance. And you see them not you see them there chanting a little bit of flame around them. And I say that's your turn.
Okay.
Okay. Next is
Do you relay any of this information?
With an opportunity, yes.
MLP, would you allow... Oh!
Oh!
Lucianne,
I see.
you get 1 redemption, so D6, D6
you.
luck. Thank you.
Thank you, I see.
MLP,
Yeah.
will you allow the free action of letting us relay that information?
Yeah.
Just
Yes, free.
brutal.
Yes, I decided crying is a free action.
Okay.
But yes, you can relay that information. I'll move to the next person on the turn order, and you see this blue mote of fire start to move, and enters. Okay, let's move to 12. Breaks inside the window. And as they pass through the window, it actually goes on fire. Gee.
That's problematic.
Only if it's flammable.
Everything's flammable after a point.
And yeah, moving in and breaking through the window, I'd say that it's surveying the area first, and that's his turn. So now it's Clinton's turn.
Sorry. So Clinton is of two minds right now. One is that he doesn't know how to handle the supernatural, which he's assuming that a floating, moving ball of fire is. But he heard Alejandro point at a person, essentially.
Yes.
And he knows how to deal with people. So he's not sure if he should try and get people, if he should try and deal with the fire, or if he should try and deal with the person. So... just
Also,
flipping a coin, basically.
Yep. Also, everyone who's
Person
seeing
it
this
is.
at the moment, roll me a sanity check, please. So
Absolutely.
this is not normal.
Was taking long enough. Was taking long enough.
Success.
Party's done well.
You don't lose any
We're
sanity.
okay.
Yep. No,
All
no
right.
sanity loss.
How
So
does Jack have more sanity than my maximum?
Because Jack is so annoying that the sanity bombs that gets passed around the party of, hey, does this book sound like read right to you, or does this mirror look right to you? They don't do that to Jack because he's so annoying.
to be
That's how-
fair, the one time I went to actually start sharing the sanity bombs, I got guilted against doing it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
So for future, you don't have Sidney, who's a nice person anymore, to avoid sparing Jack the sanity bombs.
That's why. And after each chapter, you get sanity back for completing certain things. That's why.
Yeah.
The window.
Clinton is going to do something. Okay, so if I was to move here, oops, sorry, I need to actually be able to ping.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to move here, would I be able to potentially get on top of the train car where the person is?
You'll need to move through the fire at the end of the train.
I'm okay moving through the fire. I'm in a thick, heavy leather duster.
Who says I'm okay moving through the fire?
Somebody who's had to move, somebody who's been in a burning building before. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Why would you do it again?
Yeah, you're just
That's
giving us more
exact-
questions to ask. Why are you in a burning building?
Yeah,
Anyway,
that
go.
too. I mean-
That is personal information you don't know about Clinton yet and you haven't asked. Anyway,
all right.
is that allowed,
then.
MLP?
You can certainly try.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do I need to do?
Um,
Because Clinton is going to basically, I have, let me just double check movement. I believe it's 5 times my, where did you go?
you have movement of 5, if I remember correctly.
I have movement 6.
Okay.
So I think that means I have 30 and the target is only 24 away.
I really have to sit down and actually work on those things again.
I'm just trying to find movement. Where the frick did the
Series.
rules go?
Okay. I wasn't
Sorry,
intending to have
the
this
movement
person-
is being uncooperative. Give me a second.
That's all right. You can't find the movement options, or you can't find the rule book.
I'm opening in the rule book and I have some of like the melee, but I think movement is 5. I can sprint essentially and make a melee attack, which is
Oh.
5 times my base movement.
Yeah,
So that would be 30
They're also
yards.
on top of the train.
That's what I'm saying, is that they're 24 linearly, because I measured that. I'm not sure if that shows up. But they are 24 from me, and I'm assuming about 6 feet up.
You assume correctly. That's about the same. That's about the height of normal trains.
Yeah. So basically, if Clinton sprints, he can then do a melee attack against the person who's chanting and supposedly doing magic. That's the only thing he has a remote idea to do other than trying to smother the flame with his coat. That's what I rolled for. Is he going to attempt to smother the flame with his coat, or is he going to attempt to punch the person who has flames dancing around them in the face?
Oh well, you got a few seconds to decide either way.
Yeah, no, that's what I rolled for. He decided he was going to try and punch the person with flames dancing around them in the face, if you'll allow me to.
You can certainly try.
Okay, so what do I
Let's
need to
try-
roll to
And
successfully try and
first
do
off,
this?
to get around the fire, roll me a luck check.
Absolutely.
And
It was nice knowing everybody.
I'm trying to find the.
What are you talking about? Hard success.
I didn't expect that. Roll 20 normally doesn't like me. I was expecting a crit fail there.
So I'm just getting the fire information because I need to confirm this is the right type of fire damage. It may help if I had the. Can you go and check the table on page 124, please?
Yes, absolutely.
I wasn't expecting someone to actually run through the fire.
Yep. Okay. About generally burning fire is they have kind of like a range for it, so it's kind of depending on how you're expecting. Is this more comparable to like a full burning room or more like running your hand through a torch?
At the moment for... I would say roll me 1d6.
Okay.
But it's not really persistent, it's just how much damage it would take running through it.
No, and that's what I was checking. That's okay. 5 points of damage.
Okay, that's not equal to half your damage.
No, it's not. It hurts, and he's going to feel that in the morning. And thanks to having a heavy leather coat, I only take 4 points of damage.
Because heavy leather coat acts as 1 armor.
Yes.
Okay, so I would say
he's burnt, he's not happy, but...
Yep, so you can move
Keep
where you
going.
want to be. I would say that you'll get to...
Can I get kind of like just beside her on the roof?
No, because if you want to go on top of the roof, you have to do a climb check.
Because
that's on top of the...
check. Yes.
That's on top of the roof. And I would say all that movement plus sprint will be your action.
Can I attempt the climb check just to see if I make it up beside her?
You can attempt it.
I'll probably fail. I'm okay with that.
Yes, you did.
Yep. Not willing to spend the luck for that, so I'll have Clinton
I would say...
be
Clinton-
about here, if that's okay? Like through
Yeah,
the
that's
fire
fine.
and
You'll be-
waiting to
You'll be through the
move
fire.
up next turn?
And the flames. Yes. You can do that.
Alright. Then
Okay.
that's Clinton's turn.
Very long turn. That's all right. Next one.
Apologies.
Other fire vampire. How intelligent are these 5 vampires?
None.
Well, no, they're pretty intelligent. They've got intelligence of 60. So I would assume that they understand how to do pincer, how to trap the people, and they've also been guided by something on top of the train. So I would say that the other 5 vampire breaks in the window closest to the toilet. And I need to get my GM layer. And that goes to the map layer.
That wasn't the jam layer.
Oh no.
Oh, give me a sec.
The world went
Oh.
dark, we all died. Or we're all in the void. Take your pick. I don't know which is worse in Call of Cthulhu.
There we go. Sorry about that.
No.
I've got shortcuts on my keyboard to do stuff. So you'll see this other piece of fire come up where it breaks, and that's its turn. All right, Jack's turn's next.
Holy what the... Fuck, I hope they die. I'm just gonna shoot.
With the gun.
Yeah. Shotgun. Like, yeah, they're right there. Fuck it. Just
Okay.
shoot,
Yep.
shoot,
Shoot.
shoot.
It's
I
what we
got
got.
one.
Oh, you do have water. There are five things around. You do have options.
Well, let's try to shoot first. That's
Okay.
that's Jack's first option. Shoot first. Screw the water. Water comes last.
Shoot the fire, that always puts it out.
Yeah. I would
Okay.
say shotgun rather than the elephant gun because that's more normal. for him.
Okay, so you're doing the red or the blue?
Behind. It's
Okay,
closest
so
to
that
it.
one. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be point blank. So first one has a bonus to the dice.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Success.
Let's try to do it better. Oh well, success is good enough.
All right, I'm gonna get to roll a dodge. Roll a dodge. Okay. Oh. It rolled a 40, so you hit it.
Woohoo! Does 10
And-
damage do anything to it?
You fire at it. It dissipates for a second, and then it reappears. No
guys,
damage.
girls, I don't think shooting works. Any suggestions?
Oh, open the windows before we all lose oxygen and go unconscious.
I think I made a hole in the wall. Does that help?
That helps.
Good. I'll keep shooting the walls then.
Just open the window.
That's my go.
All right, that's your turn. Mr. McEoghan. Your mic's muted.
Yeah, my dogs are making a lot of noise in the other
fair
room.
enough.
I'm sending something to you on Discord. You check that for me, please, to see if I can identify these creatures. Seems to me very likely, but of course, you're the keeper.
I would say
If not, what can I do to identify these creatures? Because they are fascinating me a lot more than the spontaneous fire on the train.
Can I just say, you're about to die. Are you really wanting to research this?
Yes.
100%.
You've
yes.
never been around researchers, have you, Karsh? Like,
Depends on the research.
I'm gonna be
It really
honest,
depends on the research.
yeah, researchers are like accompanied by people, and there's a reason they're the superpower of everybody else is common sense.
these actually do look very familiar to you. You understand what they are because you've read relatively recently. You've read about them in a certain book. But roll me a intelligence check to see if you remember anything that you read in the book about witnesses for it.
Okay, intelligence, you said.
Yes. You don't want to be touched by them because they're fire. Not only because of damage by fire, but also drains you as well. It has the
Like
ability to suck a person's ability to do magic.
Much like some other kind of creature.
Yes. Also,
That
with
we
that,
know.
with that, you would also understand that they're pretty immune to most standard weapons. But like all fire, water puts it out.
Okay. In which case, I'm going to attempt something.
Mm-hmm.
We love to
Okay,
hear
so
it.
for my first action, I want to just yell to Jack, "Cover me!" And I will go crawl under his bench,
Yeah.
and I will start chanting a little bit from memory some of these words that I have learned, while I pull the book that I was carrying on me, of course, because I always do that kind of thing. I have a bag of books for these books. And I will then, in this moment of agony and mistrust in my own very self, try to put science into technology. But except it's magic. And I want to start chanting a bind fire vampire spell, if possible. Let's hope this shit works. If it works, I'm getting crazy. If it doesn't work, I'm getting dead. So my choices are pretty clear to me at this point.
You haven't done this before.
You need a
100% I haven't. Yes.
You need a hard success on this.
Oh
Mhm.
no.
And what do I roll again?
I think it's a power.
I think it's
Power roll.
Yes, a power.
You
roll.
have to roll power, and you need a hard success.
Shall I prep up the sad
Okay.
trombone sound just in case?
that probably wouldn't hurt.
Can I roll?
Yes, you can roll.
All right. Here goes nothing.
How much luck do you have?
I have enough to push it, but I would be almost out of luck if I did. I will not push this because I need a hard success and a hard success.
Yeah, if you push, if you do a push roll, it's going to go to an extreme.
You can't push roll in combat, period.
No, can't.
Like,
right,
the
right,
only
exactly.
thing you can do is spend luck, and to spend luck, you have to get yourself down to 36, which is another 27 points of luck. So if you
Yeah,
have
I
more
do
than
have that.
27, if you have more than 27, like, the failure of casting a spell can be worse than being the lowest luck. And I don't think your lowest luck in the party is spending 27. Just as a heads up.
But the key word is can. And my character just has no idea about what could go awry with this.
Oh no,
He
I'm
barely
letting
even
you as the
believes in
player
what
know,
he's
that's all.
doing. Oh yes, yes. But here we go. Here we go. Let's see what
Are
Ow.
you
leads.
doing the are you spending a luck to make it a hard six? No, you can't.
No, I yeah, no, I'm
You
I'm
can
not
spend the
doing it.
luck, but if the keeper allows. But
If you want,
Not doing it.
I'll allow it.
It's all right. We'll be fine, guys. We'll be fine. 100% fine.
Alright, so it's
The train is on fire. What could I do that would make things worse?
I'm now very glad that Clinton is out of the car. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, Professor, do you feel a bullseye forming into the back of your head right now? Just wondering.
There's a tingle there.
So for
I
everybody
think
still in the car, you guys have backup characters, right?
No, I do. I'm about to prepare one, I guess.
And costumes as well.
So the only reason I ask is because apparently Clinton might be the only one to survive the TPK.
Yeah, you are
Simply
the
by
tough guy
virtue
in
of
the
not
group.
being in the room.
I haven't
Come on,
even
Lucianne
taken my
will be
time
fine.
yet.
Yeah.
Jack,
Welcome
will
to
be,
Call of
Jack is
Cthulhu.
always fine.
No.
I
Alright.
tried to shoot it. Nothing happened. I'm out of
Yeah, it
ideas.
just takes the extra turn to burn to death.
now you have the option. Because I'm looking through the spellcasting rolls. If I have failed casting rolls, the character has a choice to either make the second attempt to cast a spell, either immediately or at any time in the future, and by doing so push the casting roll. If you don't do this, if you roll and succeed, it works. If you fail, there's dire consequences. But I would say, do you want to roll again, or you want to see what the dice gives you?
Oh my, I would totally want to roll that again.
Okay.
So it's just same thing again.
Same thing again.
More suspense. More
And
suspense.
still
Oh my
have to get like 36.
gods.
Oh my god, you got me.
Oh, God.
Oh
You
my
are
God,
lucky.
I can't believe it.
You are very lucky. I was looking through the fail and push cast rolls, and it's like, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
oh no.
Oh yeah, I might have to correct some words mid-sentence there, but I know what I'm doing, okay? It's gonna work. It's gonna save us all. You're gonna thank me later.
It was Sa, not Sa. Okay, so you'll be I would say you'll be focusing on the one that Jack tried to attack.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say.
It's trans women are women. That's how you pronounce it.
Oh yes, that is correct.
Mhm.
There you go. Now you have the ability to control that 5 vampire on the bottom now. Sean? Draco?
Yeah, I just don't have much of an idea what I could do with this now.
Get rid of it. I'm sorry, Africa, but burning down the forest is not burning down us. Put it in the locomotive engine.
Move it out!
Can I tell the creature to attack its summoner?
Do you know
Is that
the
how
summoner?
this works? What?
You know the summoner. You know that there's at least a person on top of the train because Alejandro told you.
Yeah, but that could be not the summoner, but someone else. But that is very likely the summoner, and I want to tell the creature to attack the summoner and not any other random thugs that might be along with them.
Or Texan cowboys that climb up to attack the summoner, who also just had to be on top of the...
Oh, he did specify.
I don't know it's a summoner. I just know that there is a person wrapped in flames, and I know how to kill a person.
Especially wrapped in flames.
Okay.
Yeah, well, attack the summoner.
On its turn, it will do something. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm cool.
Next up is
100%
Lucianne.
cool.
What would you be doing?
So I saw the professor just open some book and start chanting.
Yes.
I look at the fire around, smoke is rising, and I just try to open the window.
Roll. No, these are passenger serviceable. I'll say that you can open and close them pretty simply. The smoke isn't really taking much place at the moment inside the train. It is starting to fill up with some smoke. I would say you've got like 5 or 6 rounds before the fire starts to spread to be more of an issue.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and use my action to open the window first. That way it's at least has a exit for the smoke so we don't choke to death.
Okay. Alright. So windows open, you're letting the smoke out, so you've got about, I did say 5, so I say you've got about 8 rounds.
Can I
about 10 rounds
crouch down so that
now.
I
You can
stop
crouch down,
inhaling?
so you don't need to inhale the smoke.
Okay. Then I'll crouch over here. That's my turn.
Okay. Okay, it's Alejandro's. What are you doing now?
Since guns don't work, I guess I will run towards. Is there? Well, shoot. I guess I'm gonna run back towards the dining cart to look for water, sand, fire extinguisher.
Roll me a spot
ice.
hidden.
We were drinking at the time.
You were drink. There is bottles of water and alcohol on the table between them.
Yeah, but that's not enough volume. So.
Roll me a spot hidden then to see if there's enough around.
Okie dokie. There it goes.
Yeah, there's a couple of fire hydrants around, mostly water-based. A couple of buckets of, a bucket or 2 of sand. I would say that a success. So I would assume that I would actually say right near the fire motor back here, there'll be a fire extinguisher there.
Okay. Well, I guess I get to do the pass training. Pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep.
All right, that's the blue one. All right, so roll me just a generic brawl and see if you can.
Generic D100.
Yeah. And see if you succeed.
I would say that's a good roll.
Yes,
That is
yes,
an
it is.
extreme success.
Okay. Just for shiggles, I'm just going to roll the dodge on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. All right, so just check that. as an extreme, so roll me 2d6. Alright, so surprisingly enough, you actually do damage to it. So attack that. As you direct the stream of water from the fire extinguisher, it might be because it's been there for a while, it might be because that these actually don't ever get seen in use. It builds up in pressure, and instead of what you normally expect, like a trickle, it goes from a hard trickle to like a big giant explosion of water into it, pretty much down drenching the moat, and it just flickers a little bit more, and then takes quite a hit there. Okay, that's a turn. Now, the fire vampire that you attacked, however, moves close to attack you. You're the clear presentation, you found its water, you found its thing. So it flies towards you and attempts to touch you. Alright. If I can. Alright, you gonna dodge it?
Oh god, yes.
Have to roll a high success or better.
Yep. Where are you going to go? Oh, there you go. I rolled twice, but it doesn't matter.
Do you want to spend the 5 points to drop that down from a... I'm letting you do this because otherwise it's a pain in the arse. It's that.
Yeah, why not? It's not like I only have 26 luck. I might as well spend that 7.
I am not your friend.
Did you not
Yes,
succeed
I
on the
will
first
spend
dodge
the-
roll? I see 2.
The first one is the one that mattered. I hit it twice, but I needed a hard to beat it. So
Yes.
for the-
Fair enough.
Yes, I will spend the luck.
Okay.
I will dodge to the side. Whee!
You dodge the side, and the fire vampire actually flies outside and breaks the window next to you. And what's that? Let's do the map layer. And you have another fire outside. Another fire right next to you. Okay, and that's your turn. Now, it's tense. This person on the top of the train's turn. I'm going to do something here because anyone who's watching, probably Clinton that's watching this, can actually see that the face of the person actually goes pale for a second, and is going to roll a power check to see if they can get control of it again. All right, so Sean, so I get you to roll me. This is going to be a post power check.
Okay, so I may or may not need to be luckier than the last time.
Would you like to roll first?
Yep.
Okay.
There we go. Ooh, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Oh,
I blew it. You can't be so lucky twice. Oh my god.
hard success.
With a moment of intense frustration, anger, you see the person's face on top of the train. This is what Clint will see. It's like intense concentration, and then a small smile comes from the face. And then the fire, you would also see another couple of fire motes around around them starting to swirl around. And instead of sending them towards you, they put their hands out, holds onto the firemost without taking burning damage, and just jumps.
Where are they jumping?
Off the train. And they...
Awesome.
You don't see anything. You don't see them taking full damage. They just land on the ground safely, and as the train is moving past, you swear you see a little smile on their face and a little cheerio. And
I'm about to do something very stupid.
And they're off the map.
Oh, they're off the map entirely,
Well,
so I can't jump and catch up with them?
You can't. If you hurry, you could, but
Who's gonna get you back if you do?
jumping off a train, moving at speed, may kill you.
No, I know what you mean. Like, literally, there's this brief moment of Clinton considering it.
Okay, and now it's your turn, by the way. Because you were next in turn
You would
order.
become a burrito covered in dust, you know?
No, I know. I know it would probably kill me.
Remember when we talked about in the pre-show, like in combat, like in Call of Cthulhu, we're not heroes. This is not D&D.
No, absolutely not. No, I know that that's not going to work.
Yeah,
Clinton is just sitting here, like, completely annoyed at this person. To the point of, if I see you in the market, I'm killing you. I don't care. But is going to turn, take off his jacket, and try and stomp out the fire. Like, smother the fire that's currently blocking the way that he went through.
If you want to spend your turn doing that to cover that up, I would say yes.
Yeah, like, basically, it's this fire here. He just wants to have the clear, like, passage through.
Yeah. I would say if you spend your whole turn, you use your jacket,
Yeah,
you
no,
smother
that's my
the
turn.
fire. It is regular fire at the moment, so...
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
stomps on it, then puts his jacket back on in an annoyed huff and goes, "Damn.
Okay.
I see you again, and you're gonna be... We will have words the next time I meet."
Okay, so now it's just the fire vampire that was taken over, wasn't, and now back to being under some form of control. Oh, it's intelligent. But how intelligent is it? Roll D100, and if it rolls under a 60, it's going to do what I think it's going to do.
Cool. Let's attack
Okay.
Sean.
It's going to attack Sean. It sees you as a clear and present danger.
Hence, Jack, cover me.
How?
I don't know. Jump in front of
Basically,
it.
with a blanket.
Pee on it.
Jack's not a hugger.
Like, throw me a blanket. Like,
And yeah, it's going to do a dash attack across outside of the hole in the window it's already made from the other one, and it's going to attempt to touch you on the way through. So if you want to roll me a dodge check, please.
gladly. My dodge is amazing. It's not, but hard success is hard success. So
Hard
you know,
success is hard
you know,
success.
true.
All right, so it has to roll a.
Hard success. It's
Yep.
a roll extreme, actually, because it's the attacker.
It will be. Yes, that's what I'm doing now. Fighting attack.
Also,
burn.
don't forget to mark that off.
Yes, don't forget, if you succeed anything, mark it off because that's good. Alright, go roll.
Not too good, son.
So it starts to fly towards you. You put your head up, you see it, you go, I thought you had you under control. Oh shit! Ducks, and it flies out, and you just send a white coyote across.
Sean, I'm not covering you.
Okay, Jock.
And I'd say at that speed it will be about here, about there outside, because it's going at speed. All right, Jack's turn. Did Alejandro let people know that water actually works on these things?
I hadn't yet. No, I would
Okay.
have, but I hadn't yet.
Great.
You can if you want to.
Jack gets a couple of bottles because we were drinking, and throws it at the wall here.
Roll
Do you
me a
grab
luck,
water or alcohol?
roll me a luck check.
Alcohol is look. Alcohol is rarely strong enough to be flammable. Like rarely strong enough to be flammable.
Roll me a luck
Come on.
check.
And we're
Jim,
drinking
no.
wine and things like this. We're not in.
Okay.
Wine does ignite.
The wine
Like, I'm
doesn't.
sorry,
it's-
material
It's-
science standpoint, if the fire is hot enough, it will ignite just fine.
This is general fire at the moment, but roll. Will anyone drinking whiskey or any spirits?
This early? No.
No, Clinton was
I
not.
wasn't drinking.
This is
Okay.
first class. I'm pretty sure it was wine. You just go and try a couple of bottles of wine and just throw them at the wall where it's on fire. Try to put it out. That's all.
Okay. Roll me a brawl. See. Oh, roll me a
Roll
throw.
or throw.
Oh,
Right,
great. I'd
sorry.
rather brawl.
Can I
We
do
would.
something to stop him?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Why are you going to try to stop me?
I was just gonna, like, if I could, I would, like, if I have a reaction to this, I could go, like, Sergeants, no, why ignite fire? Or something like that.
The
No.
wine, at
Let's
this
go
low
for-
temperature, the wine should be more liquid than solid. So at most, what's probably going to happen is the bottles don't break. It's a wasted turn is the worst thing that can happen right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So with that, it's like throwing a fire grenade. You expect it to break, but these are wine bottles for trains. They get jostled all the time, so they won't. You throw it, and instead of a nice smash, it goes clink.
This is how they do it in the movies. I saw it.
I'm not in the room, so I'm not even responding.
Okay.
That's
All
two
right.
wasted turns in a row.
Okay. Yes. Sean, your turn.
All right, my turn. Can I jump off the train? It is on fire.
Yes.
Well,
Okay,
the
okay,
toilet's
okay,
at the
okay.
back. That's where the water's going to
that
be.
thing- Yes. 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 I jump over the bench. You know. How much movement
can-
I got?
I would
eight.
say you
I
can
got
move
8.
to the bathroom with your
Yeah, should be easy enough, even if I have to crawl under the bench for the first.
Yeah. No, you. I would say with your movement, you can make it there fine.
All right. Is it? It's here. Okay. Okay. I got here. Now I can start changing again. I can flush the toilet. What do I do now?
Don't flush.
Grab water and start throwing. Is
Ah,
there a bucket anywhere nearby?
Soak your jacket. Soak your jacket in water.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
before that, the toilet water box thingy.
The top of the toilet, where it contains
can-
water.
can I- Yeah, can I kind of grab that little vessel that's usually in it? Because there's like a little vessel kind of thing.
I know
and
what you're
there's the
talking about. I'm
water
just trying to
around it.
think.
The vessel is normally built into the toilet, so you'd have to rip the whole toilet out of its casing. And I'm going to be honest, a toilet on its own can weigh 40 to 60 pounds. Even like back here, it would have been heavier. That's a modern day toilet. Modern day toilets can be lighter, but you're going to need probably an extreme success to rip a toilet out of the wall. And you're going to have water just spraying and flooding this compartment. Which
Oh,
will
that
help
would
out
be
the fire,
a
but
either roll me a spot hidden to see if you can see anything that could help.
All right, yeah, that's great. That's great. That's good. Too bad I'm not doing too good today.
That's your second.
Okay, you know what? I kind of kicked the sink out of frustration, and That's my turn.
Roll me a strength check on the sink kick, please.
To see if you take damage?
I'm not doing anything right.
You take 1 point of kicking damage.
Oh my god. My foot.
And roll me
Damn
1d4.
it. 1d4 now. Oh, God.
You take
Four.
four.
No,
You take
I rolled-
4 points of fire damage. Because you ran next to the fire.
Ah, God. Damn it.
That's why I was trying to put out the
fair.
fire.
It's all fair. No fair. I acted too hastily.
And also,
This time, not with the binding. The binding was a very good call, okay?
It was a
But
very
this
good
was
call.
The binding was
and-
an amazing call.
and I want you to roll me a power check, please.
a power check now. Dang it. I hope it's
You
good.
got all your bad rolls out.
Yeah, I mean, 49.
And that's a
not too bad.
success. This will be the last time that tanker can directly interfere with this one, so I'm gonna get the roll power. No difference.
Could be worse. Could be a lot worse.
Could be a lot worse. Alright. Lucianne's turn's next.
The first thing is I'll look to the surgeons and I go, sand or water, never alcohol. Alcohol doesn't put it out.
Okay.
And then the next thing is, can I roll a spot hidden to see if I find something to put out the water, to put out the fire, like
Where you
any, like,
are?
fire extinguisher?
Where you are, you're on the ground near the thing, or near the thing. Yeah, roll me a spot hidden. Success. Yep. I would say that you spot another fire hydrant on the opposing one with near Jack.
Okay, I'll run over there and do I still have an action to interact with it?
Do you have any? Yeah, you haven't actually interacted and use it if you need to.
Okay, I'll go ahead and pass. As in like push up, actually pull. I forget all the acronym. I just did this is so bad. I'm just going to try and use it.
Okay.
Yes.
Crocaz, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the
Thank you for the
Dog
follow.
And I'll try to put out the fire over
Okay,
here.
you put that one. Yep. So roll. What have I been using this again? Just a standard.
I think you've been using Brawl.
Yeah,
Use
you-
Brawl
okay.
except for me.
What did we
Can I
use for
use it
you?
with my knowledge?
Bro, because you were
instead?
throwing something.
Throwing.
Can I use my knowledge to try and operate it instead?
You're a doctor, your education would not lean towards
Oh,
the
yeah.
ability to use a fire extinguisher. Like if you were a construction worker, a ship worker, like somebody who normally is in a situation that can be around
Use-
an open flame, that would make sense. Like
No,
even a
roll for
lab
this one.
researcher, but
Can I be intelligent enough to? to
Roll me
Do I
intelligence
have to
check
use-
then. Let's see how it goes. With penalty because you're being attacked by fire. 50-50.
Oh.
Same. Yep, you're intelligent enough to know how to, even under this obscure thing of fire attacking you, which is not what normally fire normally does, you know how to pull a pin on a fire extinguisher and point it towards. And I would say you can put that fire out near Sean.
Okay, great. And then with my remaining movement, I'm gonna move past it with the fire extinguisher.
Okay. Matt. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I mean, moving the fire onto the map layer so I don't accidentally move it. I just move the map layer itself. I mean, silly. Okay, and that's your turn.
Yep.
Alejandro, your turn.
Well, I can't get to the flaming orbs.
You can
I guess
point.
I will.
You can point the. It is a ranged weapon. You can try to fire out the window at the ranged orb.
I am not going to trust a stream of water outside of a moving train to hit a moving object. Just doesn't really seem like it'll work. So I will go ahead and just focus on putting out the fires near me.
Okay. What would you like to roll for that one? If you're trying to just get rid of that fire. Just a roll?
Dex.
Yeah, okay, I'll let Dex go because you're trying to get the flame out.
Yeah, I've already done all the hard bits.
You have, yes. And with that, that'll be gone. Alright, so you just got one up the top here left. You still got 2 fire vampires, however. Okay. Now it's the blue fire vampire's turn. It's going to try to attack you again, Alejandro, because you got a fire extinguisher. Actually.
That's fair.
It's intelligent, so let's see if it knows what to do. Actually, no, it doesn't. It actually doesn't move from that spot. It's still tracking you, but it sees you as a clear and present danger and doesn't attack. Alright, Clinton's turn. Eon?
Oh dear. Is there anybody besides Loretta in the dining car?
I would say there's general staff. They're wondering what's making the noise, and you say that one or two more turns, and they'll be coming towards you.
Clinton is going to yell back towards the people in the dining car, "Fire! Fire in the back!" And then if there's a fire extinguisher or a bucket of sand or something nearby, he'll try and grab it to ready to put out a fire.
Okay, so that'll be your turn.
Yeah.
Alright.
Can I move forward to just grab where would a fire, a bucket or something be?
Bucket would be near where you would be, probably over there.
Okay, so can I move just actually in the car and be ready with
you can be ready.
a bucket of sand, and if somebody comes, I'm...
Yep, you would see there's one fire left over there. Okay. Alright, so that fire vampire is one that's been transferred power across the ground again. So I would say that fire vampire would move in, figure out who to would actually break into the window, on fire, and start moving towards you. It doesn't. Oh, it does have the movement, but isn't the smartest one. So moving on. So Jack, your turn.
Jack takes the sarsaparilla bottle and runs up. He just runs over. He's not subtle. He's not climbing over. He's just trying to bundle over and trying to put out this fire.
Okay, roll me a. Okay, that's a normal fire. I'll say D6. So roll me a D6 out of the sarsaparilla bottle. You have to beat a 5 to get it out.
So what am I doing?
Roll me a D6. Is the sarsaparilla bottle? Okay, so you do 1 point of fire damage to that one. It's not a fire It doesn't extinguish the fire, but does put it out a little bit. It's not a fire extinguisher, it's a sarsaparilla bottle. It doesn't have as much water.
Okay. Just
Okay.
trying to figure out what was going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the first time someone's used a sarsaparilla ball to get rid of one of them. Anyway, Sean, what are you doing?
Okay, I tried kicking the stink, obviously to no good effect, but Lucianne is obviously doing the smart thing, unlike me. I'm kind of panicking at this moment, so I will... Okay, I will move away from the bathroom now.
Mm-hmm.
But before I do that, I want to do the thing that someone said. I'm gonna soak the jacket in the toilet. You know, just kind of flush it and chug it, and then wear it again. And if possible, I would like to, at the end of the turn, be right outside the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I'll let
you're
you do that one.
You're scooping poo water onto your clothing.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And then I go back
Just
out.
wanted to be clear. For
Yeah,
future
and I'm
insults.
wearing it. And I'm wearing it because first, desperate situations. Second, if that fire thing wants to set me and my books on fire, because the books are not the jacket, the books are in the bag, there's a lesser chance that that will work. So, I guess I'm making myself fireproof with piss.
All right. Moving on. Lucianne, it's your turn.
What's in the back here? It's kind of dark.
Oh, nothing on the map. I would say that there's probably some mail bags or random end train things. Again, there'll probably be another fire extinguisher there if you look.
Can I unhook that one and give it to the professor?
Yep, you can do that.
Yeah, unhook and I go. Just spray at the weird fire thing.
Okay. So you now have a fire extinguisher. Alright, so Alejandro's turn's next.
Well, with probably the last of my extinguisher, I will move up and shoot the one that's squaring off with Clinton.
Okay. Roll me a brawl, please.
Would I be also able to roll a brawl since I was waiting until something came close enough to...
You didn't really say it out loud.
Okay, my apologies. Then no worries.
Brawl.
So yeah.
Brawl is definitely... Oh, sorry, wrong button. Brawl is not my strong suit, but that's okay.
You want to spin that too?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Why not? I need no luck.
Let's see them dodge.
Okay, so I'm just check one thing. Actually, yes, no, they do have a dodge. Just need to find out. I must have accidentally closed the character sheet. So, just roll me 2d6, please.
Oh. 2d6, go.
So
Better than last
9
time.
points of damage.
And I'm honestly assuming my extinguishers should be empty by now.
Yes. Because you've been pretty much spraying water everywhere. It would only have like 3 rounds of water in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that extinguisher is gone. Okay. And it's the blue fire vampire's turn next. And it's going to rush towards you and try, because you attacked its friend. It's going to rush by you, trying to set you on fire again.
Can I throw the sand this time, seeing the fire vampire move close?
Yes, you can. You're trying
Would that
to
be brawl or throw?
If you're trying to throw something, it'll be a throw.
I'm trying to, like, dump sand on it.
Yep.
So would
That's
dumping
accept-
sand be,
It's not really in touch range, it's within throw. It's close and
Okay, that'll do throw.
it'll be a throw.
I will probably fail, and that's okay. There is sand all over the floor.
Yes, it is. Okay. Now, for some reason,
We're
I
going to
actually-
start making a glass blowing shop here.
Yes, you are.
That's awesome.
So-
There's a lot of money made in that way.
Especially now. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's blue one with fucking burn against Alejandro. Needs to get a hard success, but it gets a success, so it doesn't attack you.
I duck under it.
Okay, that's that. We were waiting for that turn. All right, now it's your full turn, Clinton. You've used your You've used
The bucket of sand. No, it's what I
bucket
was
of
checking.
sand.
Is there a fire extinguisher near me?
Roll me a luck check, please. See if you can spot. See if there is one at this end. Or a spot hidden. Oh, luck one. Yep, there is a fire. You
Right
try
there.
to dump the sand on the one. You back into the wall, and you feel the familiar feeling of a fire extinguisher right behind you.
Okay, can I use the fire extinguisher to try and put out the...
Top one and bottom
I
one.
think the red one's been attacked more, hasn't it?
Both
I don't know
of-
which of the two has been attacked.
Both of them have been attacked.
Okay. Red fire generally burns less hot. He's going to go for that one.
Okay.
Assuming that he can probably kill it.
All right. So roll me a brawl for that one. Success. It has done that, so it's going to roll a dodge, which is its dex. Success. You're the attacker. It needs to have beaten you, correct?
Yes.
yeah, you
I
get to-
need
2d6.
27.
It's really, really close. It's a little sputtering ember in.
Can I, as a free action, try and taunt it to make myself a target?
You have a fire extinguisher. By its actions, if you have one of those, it considers you a target if it sees you.
Awesome. Can I, like, back up, like, 5 feet just to be actually in the dining car where I know there's staff?
Yeah?
Like, leaving the door open, but trying to lure it into more people who want to put out a fire?
Yep, you can do that. And let me just
Awesome.
roll one of those. Let's see.
I don't know it's supernatural. I just know there's a big fire.
Okay. You would see one other staff member running towards you with a fire extinguisher. Because you put the fire alarm out there, you would see other people starting
Yeah.
to run around trying to get fire extinguishers to try to run back.
Whoever I don't know the gender, was like, bless you, kid. There's too much fire back here. We don't know what happened.
Okay, and it's that fire vampire's turn, so it rushes
Yep.
forward.
Is it going to attack me?
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
And it does a fucking attack. Oof.
I think that misses me. Because I got a hard success.
Yes, he did.
Well done, Clinton.
Yep. And misses you, and just frustratingly, is just if a motor fire could
Emote?
emote, it would pretty much be like oh damn. Okay, Jack's turn. You still have one fire raging there. You guys keep attacking that one to
Yep.
put it out.
That's all I've got.
Okay. You direct the salsa ball a bit more. Roll me 1d6.
This time I shake it up.
Oh, okay.
I shake it up, try to get more out.
Okay, so it'll be 2d6. However, it will empty out the bottle.
Can
Okay,
he roll a
don't
strength
roll 2
check
ones.
because of the to try and I was gonna say to get a bonus, but he doesn't need it.
You don't need a bonus. That fire is out, so there's no more fire inside of the train, apart from the fire mode.
You have successfully undamaged the things.
Yes.
We're no longer a smoking carriage.
You did anti-fire damage.
Oops. There
My
we go.
fault. Next time move the token layer, I think. Okay. And that's your turn. Sean.
Yes. All right. I want to, walk out here, and first let me see what I can see. All right. Things are still going pretty okay outside, right? Mighty fine. Does Lucianne look fine to me? Or,
Did that look fine to you? Lucianne?
Oh, I thought you were gonna describe. I look fine. I haven't been touched or anything.
Okay, good. I have by my own frustration and despair. So continue to move on. And does Jack look fine?
Yeah. He's annoyed.
Awesome. You stay like that. Jack, do weapons work in this situation?
I haven't tried my knife, but you can't shoot these things.
Yes. All right.
They've got like fire extinguishers. They're doing something. Seems to work, or at least annoy them.
Okay, so to finish my current round, because I have ideas for the next one, I would just drop my bag, kind of toss it underneath the bench, the seat, because I want the books to be out of the way this time. And Jack has a fire extinguisher, has been keeping the thing safe from fire, so he's the best choice to protect my books.
Don't have a
You
fire
are.
extinguisher.
In
I said
fact,
they
you
have a
have.
fire extinguisher.
Yeah, I gave
Ah,
you
right,
the
a fire
fire
extinguisher.
You did help extinguish the fire, is my log.
Yes,
logic
but I
here.
don't have a fire extinguisher. I had a sarsaparilla
Yes.
bottle, which is now totally empty.
Yes. My mistake. Neither case, it was either Lucianne or Jack. So I'm going for Jack because there's a seat here. That's it. That's all
Okay.
I can do for now. I have another idea for next round, but you have to wait and see.
Lucy gave the professor a fire extinguisher in the back.
Yes. Yes, I did. So you have a fire extinguisher.
You have one in your hand.
I don't remember that. I'm sorry. Oh God.
Yeah.
Ah,
That was right
there's
after
no
the
fire.
poop water.
Ah, right. There's no fire right here, so. Yeah,
No,
that
it's
makes
just the
things even
flaming
better.
moat right in front of me.
Yeah, that makes things even better for next time. Okay, my idea is gonna work just fine. All right, let's wait and see. Nothing else I can do now.
Okay.
So, I have 9 movement. That means I can move all the way over here, right?
Yep.
What would happen if I try to rush over here? Or can I
No.
do that?
You can do that, but don't say that'd be a turn.
Can I run over and hold down my? So I'm not delivering it, but I am holding down my fire extinguisher.
You can dash and basically with just 5 times your movement and do a melee attack. So MLP, the equivalent of swing fire extinguisher for someone else to grab. Would you count that?
I would.
Okay, so I rush over and I hold down my extinguisher and I go, Monsieur Garcia, here. That's my turn.
Okay, so Alejandro's turn is next.
All right, back to spray and pray.
Okay.
If you shake it up, it does better.
Yeah, the problem is my brawl score, really.
Okay, waiting for it to come through.
Yeah, I can't do nothing about that this time.
Okay, that's your turn.
I don't have that much luck.
Or that much brawl, really.
Yeah. It says to. Okay, I'm gonna roll a D100. If it's higher, is better for you. Okay, as you start pointing the fire extinguisher towards the fire vampire, you swear it doesn't hit, but starts to flutter and disappear as both them disappear as, surprisingly enough, they're really far away from the caster. And they disappear in a puff of smoke.
Did we win?
Because
That's an
you
immediate
won.
just sink to the floor. Just
You didn't win. Well, there's still damage to the train. There's burn marks. There is seltzer bottles being emptied. Wine bottles being thrown at fires, which, if broken, could have exploded. But you successfully have survived. And with that, we're going to take our break.
I successfully smell like toilet water. For no gain. All right. Guess I need a
do we
break
need
now.
to have him do a luck roll to see if the last person flushed?
Why do you do this to me? You didn't have to. Come
Did you spend that luck? How low's your luck?
It's for shits and giggles at this point.
Well, it's for shits or,
shits.
or
Sizes.
number ones. Ones or twos.
It's shits and yeah.
He's just taking a piss at me.
That's the other one, yeah.
And
Or
with that, I
if
think
you're in Australia, taking the piss out of you.
yeah. I think also be aware. You know what?
No, the last
It's gonna
person didn't
take-
flush.
It's probably Jack,
It was
because Jack knows how to try to preserve water. And we'll come back to it from our break. Also, don't forget that our movie that will come back from break is a little more can give people audio sensory problems. So just be aware, there is a big warning. If you have any problems with audio sensory, just mute it and unmute us once we come back up.
Yep. And we'll do our draw during the break. So we'll get with that dealt with shortly. You've got about now to actually get your your application in for the draw. Let's go on the break, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. See you soon. And we're back! Yay!
Hello.
Thank you for
back.
sticking with us.
And congratulations, I see whether you recall or not, you were entered at some point somehow. So congratulations, you won.
Yay!
So 4 CD or 4 game keys from I've given you the list. Get back to me when you can, and I'll get you which ones you wanted to choose from. So yeah. And we've finally got the image, and I want to put this on the screen because it's so good. I can get it properly on screen. Can I?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it's a great image.
And the one thing I want to point out about the image, they're throwing the water forward into the fire. Water doesn't go forward when you're in a speeding train.
I know.
I just wanted to point that one out because that's the same image which was my background for the Syrinscape. It's like there's something really wrong here. But it's good. I like it.
Physics, like gravity. It's fluid dynamics.
I used to play with physicists in games. It's really like... Anyway.
Okay, so...
Different ways
Sorry,
to be
my
annoying.
degree, like 3 out of the 5 years of my degree was fluid dynamics, which makes me cringe.
So, we're back. Let's get our train.
Science, how does that work?
I'm happy with my history degree. Ruining the game with anachronistic comments.
Oh, I used to also play with a history teacher. History teacher, physics, doctorate, math teacher. Like, it was all intellectuals, and then it was me. Yeah, they all went to uni,
Okay,
I didn't.
so...
Anyway, back to the train.
So, the attack from the... I don't know how to describe it, to fire vampires, motes of fire, which everyone else who was looking around this point, after you said the word fire, just going... You would assume that they see weird stuff all the time. This is just another new thing to them, but they don't really think it's supernatural. But you see the person who... Not the conductor is coming down and is looking very irate, looking at I would say the first person they would see would be Clinton.
Yep.
Okay, so this...
I'm assuming they're a train official of some form.
Yeah, train official, they're coming down, they're the conductor, the person who pretty much runs the train, and
Yep.
coming down going, what happened?
I mean, it was gotta be the strangest thing I've seen in a long time. You heard of a bolt from blue before? Now, specifically what I'm saying is that in a desert, it is not uncommon because of the low moisture content, but the high temperature differences, that you will have lightning strike from literally an open sky that will then move to the path of least resistance, which the train has metal components on it. So that is what Clinton is banking on for the conductor or whoever he's talking to bank on.
Is the conductor you're talking to at the moment.
Yeah.
That was genius. Damn.
I'm sorry. You have to understand. I basically looked at this and I went, how is Clinton going to explain this? He's a bloody cowboy from the California desert. Bolt from the blue.
With that roll
Mm-hmm.
of a 1 on a D100, you got so lucky there.
Yep. I was ready to roll a
So
persuade
lucky.
check.
No, it's like, we're getting more of those nowadays. It's surprising that we haven't had this problem before.
We get them in
I
Australia
mean, the weather's
too.
been crazy the last 4 years. 4 years, at least where I'm from. So, I mean, we tried to put out the fire. If you got anybody who's got experience with actual fire containment, like if they could come back into the car with us, that'd be greatly appreciated. We do apologize for the mess, but I think the train catching on fire and destroying people's luggage would be more of an inconvenience for your company than us spreading sand and water everywhere.
and in the commotion, a few of the bottles got broken, and sorry about that. In Australia, we call it dry lightning.
A couple of broken bottles is more preferential than a whole train going on fire.
Oh no, I absolutely agree.
I
sir.
think you did the right thing.
I point out the hole in the wall where, like, the initial one where I shot is like maybe where it initially hit, or one of the strikes where it hit.
And I was in the bathroom. I got scared shitless, and I drenched myself in my own piss. Just to make myself
I'm going to say that regardless of the situation back here, is there anywhere else on the train that's on fire, just so that we can keep it contained? Because I don't think we want to pull to a complete stop right now. Is there anywhere else that's been hit by the flames?
Mr. Conductor, I am a doctor, so if there's anyone who is suffer from any burn of any degree, please direct them to this card, and I shall provide them with first aid as once.
Are you going to stay in the car you're in, or are you going to move to the dining car and just...
I am as well, but if no one objects, I think we should keep that car empty.
Yes, so I'll move to the dining car.
Everyone moves to the dining car. Loretta goes, "Here's a commotion. What happened?"
We'll explain a little bit later, dear. It was a little bit of an oddity. It was it was quite literally as rare as a lightning bolt from a clear sky.
Monsieur Garcia, are you hurt?
No.
No.
I am
Surgeon?
fine. I think Clinton is the only one who's a little charred.
I ran through the flames a bit. It's not the first time. If we got any burn salve, I wouldn't mind it, but I'll be right in a couple of days.
Sure. Actually, yes. Let's check it out. I looked to the professor, who's drenched in PC and waste products. And can I spot any injuries, visible injuries on him?
I am limping because I hurt my ankle kicking the sink. And
don't you get burned too?
Yeah, I did kind of burn a little.
Yeah, 4 points of burn damage, 1. Yeah, so you got a little bit of contact damage.
Shoulder.
Professor, you got burned as well?
Yes.
Okay, so Professor, the first thing I want you to do is actually to remove your clothes. I know it's improper, but you're risking infecting the wounds.
If you're going to suggest using piss on the wounds, I'm trying it.
Professor, we're on a blooded civilized train. We ain't gonna be recommending nothing like that. I have a bag full of medicine, as does the good doctor here. So please don't insult us. We're not in the middle of the woods with nothing available to us. And I'm going to be honest, if you were going to call that on me, if we were in the middle of the woods with nothing, I'd leave you to die. And because if you're not going to accept me, treat me properly.
My apologies. I'm a little bit in shock from the whole situation.
We could always
Is the conductor still in the dining cart?
They're sending out more staff members to look around to see if there's any more fires. So you see 5 or 6 staff
Are they in
members.
like the burning cart as opposed to the dining cart?
They're moving out to the other carts. There's actually like 5 or 6 carriages. And since there's fires in that area, they're just doing a quick once over. The train has slowed a little bit, but not enough to affect any major issue.
May I perform first aid on my colleague here and the professor?
Yep,
Clinton will help with the professor if you want, because I'm very good at first aid, so either one of us can kind of take that role.
Yeah, whoever wants to take the lead.
I'd like to at least perform one on Dr. Clay first.
Okay.
You go ahead. I would prefer to be treated by Clinton. I might have to remove my shirt in front of the male doctor. I would be more confident.
Professor,
quick question just for the dining cart. Because some of the dining carts have it. Is there like a privacy curtain.
There'll be a privacy curtain. There'll be like little private areas.
Clinton will, as soon as we have to treat the professor, pull the curtain back and double check that the professor's comfortable with everybody who's around, and will purposely be trying to block at least one of the directions of sight.
Yep.
Professor, I assure you, I am a doctor first. In this case, however, if you're more comfortable with Dr. Clay, I'm sure that he can provide adequate care. Let me just make sure I catch up Dr. Clay first and his wound. And with that, I'd like to perform the first aid. Extreme success.
I just want to add, Sean, if Nursey was here, she would wallop you for even suggesting that type of thing. And
I mean, she might, but I'm going to say that I've been around patients who are uncomfortable with either sex of person treating them. And whatever the reason is, it's valid, and we do our best to respect it as professionals. We're lucky to have a member of each sex who can help with it. For the in-between, we'll try and find a local, but otherwise, you flip a coin.
Oh, yes, don't get me wrong, Doctor. I would let you drive a needle through my arse. It's just a matter of the current situation I find myself in.
I understand. And I said that and patch up Dr. Clay one flawlessly. Like a masterclass demonstrations of how medicine should be used.
Clinton is quite honestly, at this moment in time, watching what you do and through winces because burns hurt to have treated, is doing his best to take notes.
Right, that should help there. And I'll leave you and the
I
professor.
greatly appreciate it.
Just trying to work
I
out how
greatly
many,
appreciate it, Doctor.
how many that would get because that was an extreme.
It's still just a D4. Honestly, it's like the different levels of difficulty depends on how severe the injury is. So for essentially, I'm going to say first degree burns, since running through a fire. Or not first degree. What is... Okay, burns always screw me up. Is it higher number or lower number that's bad?
Higher number. Third degree is like...
So for third degree
flashes,
burns, No, and okay, because depending on what injury you're dealing with, it flips. And as a dyslexic, that messes me up so much that it's not even funny. But so for third degree burns, it would basically be you need a normal success, and then for each degree higher, it would need the higher success. But it's at max a D4 for first aid.
I would say roll me a D4 then, because that was an extreme.
I'll take 2 hit points back.
Yep, so you get 2 hit points back. And I would say roll me... You can tick first aid since you were given a masterclass with extreme success. In how to treat wounds.
I didn't hear the second part that you said. Could you repeat?
Oh, no. What was that? Eon was...
So I heard the tick the first aid part, and then...
Yeah, you can take the first aid part, so Eon, Clinton can also take first aid as well, since they were given training.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Can I roll first aid for the professor?
Yep, we can do that.
And I'll leave the scene astronaut.
And what Clinton's purposely doing is he's like unbuttoned his coat so that he has literally a trench coat that's basically flaring and blocking the professor as he's treating.
I would
so the
say
professor can
that
feel more comfortable.
this could be at the back of the train where the doorway is. There's a little place
like
where Loretta
specifically
and everyone...
blocking. Yeah. Corners, there's only 2 places. There's
You
curtain
can have
and...
that whole area blocked off so no one can look through.
And is it just first aid to try and treat the wounds?
Okay, I need to ask Drake a question. You didn't spend any magic points on those spells, correct?
I did not, yeah.
Okay, cool. So
I'm clean.
because there was two castings there, so you've already spent the sanity costs. But if magic points, if you spend more than you have, it counts as it goes to your hit points. So be aware of that for magic casting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, it'll just be a general first aid then.
So just before I roll, so I know, because of before the other doctor helping, there's no bonus die, right?
No.
I want to
bonus
ask
die.
before I click the roll. Okay.
So success, so 1d4.
My character sheet got in the way. Apologies for the delay.
That's right.
There you go. 4 hit
Tip
points
off
back.
my head
With
to
all-
you.
With all the information and everything else, you've just gone through a masterclass of that. So with your first aid, you successfully heal any.
I'm
the
also going to
damage that
say
was done.
that Clinton literally served in World War One. This is not his first time treating burn wounds.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of experience, unless Lucy also treated war victims, he probably has more experience with fire and chemical burns than Lucy does.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I just have strong cognition.
Yeah.
You've done a great job, Doctor. I'm feeling quite well already.
I'm very
My
glad
uncle,
to hear
though.
that. What? Actually, I just want to roll something really quickly, and the GM can tell me if I would know.
Yep.
Where are you?
Also, I found. We'll let the healing stand at the moment, but on a successful first aid roll, it's 1 hit point, not 1d4.
Oh, my apologies. I thought it was 1d4. I might
That's
have
right.
misread that.
I just checked that myself just to make sure, but yeah, that's fine.
So the psychology roll was to notice if Dr. Lucy was at all uncomfortable, because I think she was the only one who saw the professor do magic. Well, I have this moment alone with my patient.
Okay, so
That's why I'm asking the GM before Clinton says anything.
Well, I have to ask Gabriela a question. Did Lucianne actually see? Lucianne said that they saw the professor chanting under their breath.
And then the fire respawned. That's why.
Oh
Did-
no, I would have chanted loudly. 'Cause
Okay.
I wanted to
To
get the
me-
thing across.
It was just, to me, Lucy, it was just weird. Because it's like we're having fire, and the professor is taking this time not to open the window, not to look for sand or water, and instead just start reading a book. But due to the
It's
cur-
specifically more the idea that Clinton's wondering, is Dr. Lucy acting at all weird towards the professor? Because that's what my psychology roll is for, to notice if anybody's acting weird towards anybody in the party.
you find Lucy being weirded out more on the aspect that that the professor is refraining from receiving help from her, based on the fact that, oh yeah, I am a gentleman and I need to be coy and not show my body, rather
Okay,
than the chanting thing.
Thank you, because that changes what I'm going to say. So, Professor, and Clinton is like intentionally lowering his voice.
Mhm.
Just as a medical practitioner, I do have to ask, is there any personal reasons that you were against Dr. Lucy performing any medical procedures on you due to the fact that she's a woman? Because despite what the law might say, I do completely understand that you can be hurt by those of the fairer sex. So I won't report anything, I won't say anything, but I do want to give you this opportunity while we have this moment. If something has happened to you, please let me know. If you're not comfortable, you don't have to say anything. If nothing happened, that's okay too. I don't want to make assumptions, I just want to make the option available.
Well, Doctor, you say I come from a very Catholic background, even if I'm not too religious myself. And I currently have a fiancée back in Ireland that's waiting for me. And recently, with the travel and all, the other doctor has become more of a colleague and a friend. It's that sort of intimacy you just can't get rid of on an instant.
I'm glad to hear that it's not trauma-based. I will say that there's a weird Puritan/Catholic discrepancy about the idea of the human body, but we will do our best to meet your comfort level, Professor. So thank you for letting me know. When this is all over, you wouldn't mind telling the other doctor just so she knows as well. because I think that the trauma response is the thing that our brains are going to jump to first. So knowing that it's a religious preference over a trauma preference means that she'll know whether or not you'll be okay with her like treating a bullet wound or something whenever you die, if anything happens. Since we just got attacked by flaming orbs, I think that life or death might be an issue on this expedition.
Well, that's quite sensitive. You're good with the mind, not just the body.
I
I'll do
mean-
my best to inform her.
No, absolutely, and it's on your own time, as you're comfortable. If you need me to tell her instead, that's my job as a physician, but I'm more worried about keeping everybody breathing at the end of the day. But also, it don't do you any good to be breathing if your brain ain't comfortable with it, because you ain't going to be breathing much longer after that.
Well, thanks, Doctor. I'll talk to her.
On your own time,
Okay.
don't worry about it. I just noticed that there was that little bit of tension. I don't know if that's the cause of it. That's me making assumptions, but as a professional, I wanted to cover all my bases. Anyway, I think you're pretty good to go. We got your burns kind of treated. So if you want to get dressed, I'll step out and let everybody know that you'll be out when you're ready.
And the pomade is twice a day, you said.
Honestly, that burn ain't too severe, which I'm quite glad, but I will recommend, we're in the dining car, right?
Yeah.
Gods. I just need to roll a d4 to know, sorry, what's your size, Draco, for your character?
I'd say general size
is
0.
45.
Is 45, sorry, or 55?
45. Kind of small.
Okay.
So what's okay? So,
So
what's your
Clinton's just a little bit bigger than you. Clinton is going to leave his jacket kind of blocking, take off his shirt, and then button up his jacket and hand you the non-polluted shirt and go, you got burn wounds, take that shirt off, take this. I'm an old man, nobody's going to even look twice at me for, but just to make both you comfortable and the fact that you got a fiance comfortable, that you're not showing yourself off, wash that shirt before you wear it, because there's a lot of diseases in human excrement of all forms, so we don't want you getting that burn infected. And Clinton is going to button the leather jacket like neck to hip and hide the fact that he is currently shirtless, and then go looking for his luggage afterwards.
Well, that's fine.
Right. That's all much appreciated. Now I'll do just as you said, and as soon as we're done with this, I'm gonna try to find Lucy to inform her about my choices there, because I didn't figure she would be so upset about it.
Also, if upset was what came across, he's more going like making sure that she wouldn't be violating your rights as a patient to treat you if you had like a bullet wound to your chest.
I'm at this point also checking in on like other passenger, making sure that no one get burned. If anyone's come my way, I like to perform some first aid for them.
You
As
would
I offer the
you would
conductor.
say that there will be a couple of jostled people, believing that they came very, very close to being burnt, so it'd be more not physical, mental, worried. And since it happened once, will happen again.
I'll use my medical knowledge to explain to them that right now you're not suffering any pain. That doesn't mean that what you're going through is not valid. There's just no one right now, and that's good.
Can Clinton, like after treating the professor, come out and basically act as a nurse to the doctor to help like elevate her standing in the view of the patients, so they don't do any gender discrimination?
No, there'll be none of that here. In this kind of situation, I think people understand to get help where they can find it.
Yeah.
And when
Okay.
it comes to them,
Just want to make sure.
there wouldn't be that discrimination here.
Yeah, because Clinton is basically going, he's dealt with the discrimination before, and he does not want such a skilled doctor to face that discrimination whenever she could save lives.
Okay. Now, due to the trains actually also running a bit slower, the train, if no one else is doing anything else on the train, because we'll move on to the next section, or do you want to? Anyone
Alejandro
else?
is cleaning his guns at one of the dining tables with a bottle of something in front of him. So,
As you do.
he's being crazy.
Alejandro, that wasn't right, was it? As Jack sits down with one of his guns to start cleaning and maintenance. That wasn't really right, was it? Just then.
Balls of fire attacking us with a brujo on the ceiling. No, that's not normal.
But, I mean, like, I shot it. I actually hit that thing.
It was fire. What do
Nothing.
you expect? Yes. Shooting fire does not help.
So if you can't shoot it, what are you supposed to do?
Water?
But like, how do we kill something, not just on fire, but like anything you can't shoot?
Gentlemen, may I join your conversation?
Please.
I pull out a pistol,
Open another
put it in
glass.
front of Gabriela, of Lucianne, and a rag. We're cleaning guns.
Time for
I just-
guns and alcohol. It is a good combination.
It's unloaded.
Sure.
I'll unload it and then put it back.
Well, at the very least, with a little bit of fire, I can sterilize my equipment.
As far as your question, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
So, the good sergeants, you were quite skilled with that. With the gun, and yet, I believe you shot it and nothing happened
Oh,
to it.
I hit it. It right through. I was aiming down the sight. It went right through it, and nothing. A little bit of a flutter, but nothing, and a hole in the wall where the lightning struck. Looks around in case there's someone listening.
Sure. Water seems to help.
I find alcohol helps a little bit.
For you or for it?
I don't know what you're talking about either.
Waters do not help put out fire, Sergeant. In fact,
Waters to
allow
not put
me
out
to-
fires?
Alcohol does not put out fire. Water does.
It does.
Apology.
It's liquid.
Well, since I'm cleaning my equipment, might as well demonstrate this. Control flame, of course. And I like to demonstrate how I can enhance the fire to sterilize my equipment with a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
With medical grade rubbing alcohol.
It depends on the liquor that one is using, but as far as the
Grab ro-
bang bang, you were shooting fire. The water worked, just like water should. Lesson learned, I suppose. Don't shoot balls of fire that can chase you around the room. This is
So-
still new to me.
Oh, thank goodness you said that, because so that happened. That fire find the objects, creatures, whatever it was, it happened. And you said you spotted something? I certainly
brujo.
saw my colleague. A brujo.
Yes. Apologies. Warlock? I think male witch.
Sorcier.
Hmm.
And a witch.
See. A male witch. A brujo.
Oh,
A what?
Brujo.
Bruja.
No, a bruja is female. It's a brujo.
No, it was a female.
Oh, it was female? I thought it was male.
No.
Okay. Oh, bruja, sorry.
Oh, so it's a witch. I suppose with all the fire, it's quite hard to determine the person presenting identity.
Well, it was preoccupied at the moment, but yes,
Yeah.
they seem to be controlling all of this.
I thought witches were only in Salem. At least that's
Can
what.
Clinton sit down at this point because he actually did see the person jump off the train holding on to flaming orbs to slow her fall?
Jack
Dr.
instinctively
Clay.
pulls out another pistol, unloads it, and goes to offer. It's like, you've got your own. Reloads, puts it back.
Really, honestly, if you want me to clean it, I can. I have the time. My revolver didn't get fired. No,
Cool.
Cleaning
Hello.
because
to
of
be
the
honest.
water, the sand, the smoke. It is wise and so that it does not jam at an opportune moment.
Mr.
I pull
Garcia,
out a tray for Dr. Clay so that he can start sterilize his equipment too.
No, absolutely. Thank you, Doctor. Mr. Garcia, I do have to ask, did you happen to see that the woman on top of the train seemed to have fire circling her?
Yes,
Because you did mention there was somebody up there.
Yes, I said it when we were there. It was a bruja.
All right. Now, I ain't
Apparently
fluent in
that means
Spanish,
witch.
but I grew up in California where there were more than a few people who uttered that as derogatory towards women. I'm assuming that means something along the lines of witch or undesirable female.
Yeah, that's a witch, apparently.
No, it is not a matter of being well. It is not undesirable because they are female. They can be brujo, a male witch as well. It is undesirable because they do black magic.
All right. Thank you for clarifying, because I'm going to be completely honest. I grew up in a small settlement where there were more than a few that were only there because their caravans dumped them at the first opportunity of not seeing uncivilized. But, so that's good to know. I am going to mention that whoever this person was, she jumped off the train and was supported by more fire she summoned so that jumping off the train didn't kill her. So if you're properly assuming that the person that made these balls of fire attack us is related to the woman who jumped off the train, she's got a lot of control over it. And I'm going to say the next time we see her, this might be a really horrible decision, but I think whoever has a firearm should just empty it into her. Because the law is going to be less of a problem than somebody who can control fire in a world that is about 50% wood.
So these are people. Not just some weird entities.
I mean, Doctor, I'm sorry to alarm you, but the sergeant apparently has a blade made by a person who used to be chasing after these things that glows. Speaking of which, Sergeant, could I see that glowing knife you got? Or is it machete? I can't remember.
I was going to wait till Sean if Sean wanted to join us for cleaning, but okay, pulls it out and stabs it into the.
Before you pull it out, he's gonna say, Dr. Lucy, there might be a little bit discomfort, so if you can avert your gaze so it doesn't disturb you.
Fine.
Thank you. I just wanted you to be aware because there are disturbing
Yes,
things that
thank
can
you.
hit anybody.
Thank you. I'm trying to get
Sergeant, do you know how this was made? Like the actual procedure to make it?
Nope.
Damn.
I saw Sidney do this multiple times.
You did?
We had a few. This was the only one that
See?
actually went pretty.
So did you happen to see the one that glowed?
See, I believe so. Yes.
Do you think you could help me recreate it?
Do you know the spell?
Are we talking
Actually,
magic?
It was a spell?
The spell.
For this one, it wasn't a spell. It
was a
is
description.
It is technically. You haven't. Actually, I'll check your
He's-
skills.
He's still going to call it a spell because he
Are we
has folk
talking
magic.
We're talking about magic.
Sergeant,
See?
I'm gonna say we just saw balls of flame attack us without any flamethrower, mechanical device, or
Doctor,
person
not so loud.
directly influencing. If you're gonna tell me that that's something you can rationalize, I'm gonna recommend you go march yourself into the medical tent to check for shell shock.
I look around and go, Dr. Clay, not so loud.
Have you seen the talkies? Have you seen they shot someone into the moon?
Sergeant, that was television, and the fun thing about television,
television?
is... Did you watch it in a movie theater?
Yeah.
Right, so theater folk, they're just showing you a moving painting. That involves showing you a whole bunch
But they
of painting
talk now.
silk films. I know. And
Paintings
you
don't
ever
talk.
heard a record player?
Paintings don't talk, and I don't.
No.
don't show
Have
a
you
picture.
heard a record player? There's a different question here, Sergeant. Have you heard a record player play music?
Yeah.
So, if I was to play a record player at the same time that I played a visual recording of moving pictures so that the dancing lined up with the music they were listening to,
Am I me?
would it look like that was what was happening for them? That they were dancing in time with the music?
So you lost me.
Okay, Syrinscape,
Okay.
let us step this back. To answer the previous questions, yes, there are people who can do unusual things.
And thus they
There
can
is
also be
magic.
stopped. And
The
thus they can
people
also
who
be
are-
At this
stopped.
point, I arrive at the conversation.
Prof-
Howdy,
And-
Professor?
Rifle, unloaded, big elephant gun, rag, some gun oil.
Jack is
Such
gonna
a
look at Clinton is gonna look at the professor and just basically see if the professor's more comfortable with a pistol or a rifle. He's basically
Are
gonna
you
hold up
asking me
pistols
this?
and offer it.
Everyone
You
else
good
is
for cleaning
shooting
it,
a gun
or would you
at the
prefer to
table.
have something smaller?
May I look around to make sure no one is looking and not eavesdropping? Because. Okay, good. Thank you. Just checking.
Spot hidden if you want.
Oh, okay.
I have
I thought you
fired-
was.
I have fired handguns in both practice and in the Juju House basement.
Clinton will hand
is
you the
different.
pistol and take the rifle to start cleaning.
No, just let me feel.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll the penalty because this is like a side thing that Clinton's doing, just because he's used to being watched by people hostile to him.
But as if they are
Yeah,
people,
You're having a
Lobos-
You're having a conversation, but I think the more outlandish you're cleaning weapons in the dining cart is, I think,
Yep.
bringing people's attention away from your conversation.
Can I roll? Would it be a stealth check to, like, have Clinton's voice be low enough that most people don't notice?
Over the sound of the train, I would say that you would need to actually, anyone who you're trying to talk to, you have to either be next to or have to roll a listen check to try to hear you if you're going to go that low.
Okay,
With
then
the
can I
sound-
roll stealth?
Yeah, for that one, but whoever you're talking to has to do a listen check to see if they can hear you.
That ain't gonna work no matter what, so I'm not gonna even bother.
Fair enough.
Clinton would attempt to subtly gesture towards keep cleaning the guns, but he's not sure if anybody gets it because despite the fact that I think he's got at least 10 years or more on everybody in the party, he's really not... He hasn't had social opportunities. People, aside from patients, have not spent time with him.
Alejandro's doing what he was doing to begin with, drinking and cleaning. So,
The only way to clean.
anyway, when it comes to individuals, they are still people. Jack, we fought against Nakwande, and a bullet in them works just as well as a bullet in someone else.
So something like that
No.
happens again, shoot at the puppet master, not the puppets. Is that what you're saying?
So does this stop them?
See?
I mean,
What's
I
that?
don't want to
friends.
assume.
I might be able to offer something that might change your perceptions on the situation before you proceed too far into this conversation.
Okay,
Notice we're cleaning guns, but discussing things that might be quite immune to them, which like the dry lightning spell.
The situation that
Right
brought them
spell.
about. Have you heard about it, Professor?
You're telling me it's not just nonsense?
I mean, I saw a fireball on either side of the train that then proceeded to crash through the window, and I had to try and fabricate a cover story to cover that up. If you saw something different, please tell me now, because I would much prefer a rational explanation as to why the first-class train car caught fire.
I was talking about your desert lightnings. But I believe you. I just had never heard of such phenomenon.
We have...
Sir, I'm going to say right
Quite the
now that
news
from a
to me.
meteorological perspective, dry lightning is normal in dry environments because lightning, to my understanding... Have you ever shocked yourself touching a piece of metal? Like you stand up from a chair and then you touch the metal and there's this little zzz. Well, lightning's just a
when
big
the
version
air
of
is
that.
dry.
Yeah, deserts are dry. We're in a giant desert. That's at least most of Kenya from my limited understanding. I'm going to be honest, I failed geography. But everywhere I've seen out the windows has been desert, right?
Oh no! This is the equatorial lands. It's some of the most humid environments on the planet. Yeah, we can find.
GM,
Not
I'm
too
going to
near
really
mountains.
honestly ask, have we not been passing through desert? Because I don't want to seem like... That could be Eon's mistake as opposed to Clinton's mistake of looking out a window.
Yeah, Kenya
I
is
assume we're passing through
mostly
desert.
Kenya is mostly the coast, then savannas behind the hills, and then you go up to jungles again when you get closer to the other
Not desert.
countries nearby.
Are savannas at least dry lands in the idea of a grassland?
Now, that's a good question.
Because my understanding of savannas was a dry grassland.
Which is still not desert.
It's not desert, but it's similar enough to California that I can BS my way into saying that Clinton's not an idiot.
Yeah,
Either way,
actually,
Jack will reaffirm that we call it dry lightning, or dry lightning strikes in Australia, and we get them not just in the desert, but we also get them in the more lush areas. It's just about the weather, I think. The local
so
the local
does-
mobs will probably know more and probably tell you a story about which spirits or which entities are the cause of them. But
So
entertaining
yes,
stories, though.
the dry lightning, as you
Yeah.
said, surgeons, carried this woman who was standing on a rooftop safely down from a moving train.
No.
maybe they
hate
jumped
to
into a
interject here,
bush.
Doctor.
Fireballs.
I do hate to
Friends.
interject here, Doctor, but no, that wasn't lightning. That was
No, I understand. I'm just trying to help the surgeon understand.
Yeah,
Friends.
Yeah, Professor.
Might be able to face the witch on level ground. That's what I'm trying to say.
That would be wonderful.
Was that-
what
was
way
that-
can we do that?
Was that what you were doing?
She was summoning things that I have learned in theory to control, to bind into my own will. It's a somewhat complicated process. That's not the part.
Oh,
Can
But
you
you
bind
can
one
I
into
enable
touch you?
either a click.
One at a time. One at a time. But let me go first.
Can you bind one into a
was
knife?
able to bind the creature into my own will, but only because in my sources, knowledge, I have learned to summon these. I had never, of course, seen one with my own eyes, but the descriptions were there. So the moment I saw the things, I recognized them as these fire vampires of which I read about.
Did you read about them in a book?
and they're called fire
Yes.
vampires.
You could translate it differently, as I have been trying to backward engineer the translation on the book that I have learned this from. But the point is, I could perhaps summon the same creature to fight off her creatures, if that is a viable option.
Yes,
It's
because
not
fighting
the
fire
same.
with fire is the best way of doing it.
Indeed.
Oh,
Professor, perhaps you're saying that you recognize the spell from your linguistic history or your education. Did your spell allow you to summon another or to control one that already been summoned?
The thing is, when one is summoned from the beyond, they are wild, restless. They are raw force of distant realms, according, of course, to my sources. And so you have to learn to bind them, so they do your bidding. And this is where the binding spell was described. You could, of
Okay,
course,
Professor,
just let loose.
I'm sorry, I'm a simple man who's very uneducated. Are you saying it's on the binding side of controlling somebody else's summon? Or that I have to summon it myself?
I'm saying I can do both.
Right. Thank you. That's all I was looking for. Do you have that spell handy?
Somewhat. It's in the tome that Jackson gave me.
Jackson's a
Alright.
weird dude. He had a lot of weird stuff.
yes.
Jackson was...
Apparently, spell.
Well, no, Jackson was... Jackson weren't no scholar, but he was definitely one who wanted to travel the globe and learn everything he could. He, if he had seen somebody saying, I can control fire, he would have gone, really? I bet you can't, and asked them to show him.
I think we
I
met
guess
different Jacksons.
I guess I owe my old country an apologies for all of his old practices that I have heard tales and folklores. Apparently, they're all true.
I can say that
Does your country have
most
back
of-
daddies too?
I'm
Sergeant,
sorry, Sergeant. What?
I'm not going to dignify that with an answer.
I
Well,
will
Daddy-
say, Doctor.
Despite his way of phrasing it, Jack is talking about something real. It is the father of bats.
I mean, this is purely based on mostly drunken memories of people I've had the fortune to talk to, but it ain't uncommon for people to have met, especially those native to their own lands, those that are parents of the natural fauna. That's both a cultural understanding of how the world came to be, but also, as I'm now beginning to suspect, an explanation for whenever things like a ball of fire crashes through your window.
So, I'm sorry, I'm really trying to understand. Professor, you were not born that way.
Excuse me?
You were not born knowing how to do these things. You learned it from a book. And now you can use it.
Were you born a doctor?
No, which is why I want to know. So, is this something that anyone can do? A professions?
Well, I figure so. There's some science to it. You replicate the success of others into your own successes, but it does require mental restraint, as I learned earlier. Your mind will struggle to grab a hold of these things as they happen. When I bound to the spirit, it fought me back. You need a trained mind. Much like our friend Jack here. I think you could do just fine with these spells.
You think I've got a trained mind? I've had my mind being called a lot of things, but usually empty, quite frankly. But you think I could do this?
Professor, if I might, do you
sure.
happen to have it written down in a way? Sorry, not in a way that's accessible. Do you have it written down in English that at least I'm going to say
English.
myself and the sergeant here could read?
Middle English only, in bits of Latin, as I was backwards translating, but I could try to come up with a more modern English translation for you. Just don't expect American terms.
What
Oh
about
no,
Australian?
I ain't expecting non-American terms or anything beyond, but just I'm gonna be honest. I've read Shakespeare. Even Old English is easier for an uneducated lout like me to understand than a different language, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if English is what root language it is. I've heard that people in linguistics talk about root languages. You'd know better than I would, Professor. But I struggled enough with English. Learning a second language is probably gonna fry my old brain. I don't know about the sergeants here, if he feels up for learning a second language, but
I've
I'm
heard
an
that they use
uneducated
electricity
old
for your
fool.
brain these days, and it helps.
Okay.
If you want to hook
alright.
yourself up to some electrode, Sergeant, I will happily record the findings.
Professor, perhaps I could help with the Latin translations. I do not wish to attempt to meddle in this new science, but if I could assist in any case.
The professor and I were Sean and I were doing a Swahili translation for something else. That seems to be that's talking about magic and doing some weird stuff.
I think that at least knowing what we're up against as a group. I mean,
I did
the
some
woman
further
who
studies.
Yeah, the woman who did this jumped off the train and was smiling as she did so. Now, I ain't going to assume she didn't survive, but most folks I know that jump off a train, moving at full speed, they know something you don't. Because most of them that are attacking a train, they ain't inclined to end their own lives. They have some sort of plan to survive it. Unless y'all have experienced something different. But we've had enough road cowboys that figure and outlaws that are going, I can survive anything. And then the greasy smear they leave behind proves them quite the contrary.
But Buster Keating always survives. These movies are the best.
I'm sorry, Sergeant. Who?
Buster Keating, Like he's the person like does like the action movies. Like he's like jumped on trains before and jumped off them.
Oh, him!
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
Oh
he
no,
didn't have
he's
buildings fall over
amazing.
on
I'm
him,
gonna be honest.
And like he's always in the right spot, and like there's always like the window that's where it falls, and like he's always standing there. He's awesome. He could jump off a train
no.
without a problem. I've seen him do it.
I know, Sergeant, and I'm gonna be honest. When he finally passes due to old age, I'm excited for the autopsy results. Because that man is a medical marvel.
It's a bit morbid.
And I really want to know how he manages to do them things. Because I've known people who can shoot the wings off of a fly that's buzzing around their heads, and they can't do half of what that Buster Keaton does.
It's film magic.
I mean, it
It's
very
not
well
magic.
could be.
It's right there in front of your eyes.
Sergeant,
Okay.
It's not right there.
what do you
It's
define as
the
magic?
movie screen.
In answering that, he pulls out like the translation, and I will say this, Eon, you see the picture on it before anybody else as he draws it out, and the pictures of a familiar symbol with the ankh and the pyramid, the inverted ankh and pyramid, and you know the writing is in English at that moment before anyone else sees it, as he's pulling it out.
I mean, it's two symbols with some English. The war doctor is looking at you,
And then he pulls
looking
it
at
down.
the paper, then looking back at you, and really wondering how badly your shell shock wasn't treated. As somebody who's very familiar with or at least the era's mental health, is literally looking at you and going, so I need to sedate you and get you to an asylum immediately.
I turn to Mr. Garcia and I go, Mr. Garcia, may I see the alcohol that you were drinking?
One hand is still under the table. He'll grab the bottle with his left and slide it over.
I look at it. The content, this is quite poisonous for the body.
I thought you were going to spill it on my...
Garcia, is your arm okay? I haven't seen it move for a decent amount of time. Do you mind just lifting the other arm for me? Just really quickly? I want to make sure that you're doing
He
okay.
shrugs, he pulls his arm up, and in it is a cocked 1911 pointed generally towards the professor.
Nope. Oh, right. That's good to know. Is that thing loaded? Because gun safety says don't point it at somebody that you're not intending to shoot. I mean, maybe
That's
I
why
was
it's
taught
cocked.
different gun safety than the rest of us.
Oh, his finger's on the trigger. Curled
Mr.
around the
Garcia?
trigger.
Mr. Garcia, would you mind explaining to me why you're violating all the rules of gun safety that those of us who have been raised around firearms have been taught? Or are you telling me that you intend to shoot the professor right here next to me?
I'm currently debating on whether or not the professor needs to die.
Okay. And he's literally doing the timeout sign. But before
I
you
know,
decide
but I
if you're
whisper.
gonna make a bloody mess beside me, why are you debating that?
Also, there are witnesses all around us right now.
I mean, he's rich. He don't care about the witnesses. I'm wondering why he's debating on killing somebody that he told me a few minutes ago was an ally. That's more the concerning thing to me. If we're his band of outlaws, why are you planning to shoot one of your posse?
It is quite simple. If you go back to our whole conversation about the Bruja, she summoned these little wisps, sent them around, and then the Professore has engaged in the same magic to control her little wisps. And here we are talking about everyone else learning it. So I'm
Mr.
debating on
Garcia,
whether or not
I have
he
to
needs
really ask you
die
something.
to protect all of us.
Mr. Garcia, I really do have to ask you something. You were engaged by an enemy force. Somebody managed to convince said enemy force to fight on your side. Your solution is to look at the person who, in the middle of a conflict, tried to keep you alive by subverting the enemy force, and put enough lead in them that they suffer acute lead poisoning to the point that they die. And you're wondering if the person who subverted the enemy force
I think that's called acute
might be on
death.
the wrong side.
See,
Mr. Garcia, I would recommend that you maybe put the gun down and consider your own personal values for a moment. Because somebody just risked their own life and sanity to keep you alive, and you're contemplating shooting them.
this is actually a far more simple thing. Black magic is black magic.
What if you painted
because
white?
the other side used a weapon of destruction does not make another person using the weapon of destruction good.
As you hold a firearm,
I was about
you
to
say
yes.
this. No, Mr. Garcia, you tell me at what moment that gun is meant to do anything. And I mean
Oh, it's meant to
literally anything other than
Oh, it is
kill.
meant to kill. Yes.
Okay.
That is why
So
I'm
if you're
pointing it
seeing
at the
somebody
professor.
else on your side, would you be pointing that gun at the professor if he was holding a pistol at your opponent?
Now, if you'd shot the Brujo, this would not have been a completely different conversation.
No. We're backing up here. Because you're telling me...
That's what I
that the
point at on this
professor-
thing. That's what this is about. It's about time traveling.
No, it ain't,
No.
Jack, but please
No.
just give me a moment. If the professor was pointing a gun at the woman you said was a witch, would you be upset at the professor?
Not at all.
If he was holding a club above her head, would
Not
you
at
be
all.
upset at the professor? So, I ain't saying that the thing you're calling black magic is okay, but it's pointed at the person trying to kill you. Why are you upset at the professor as opposed to upset at the woman trying to kill you?
Could we maybe I find as though we are missing some step to understanding here. For my sake of understanding, I'd like to ask first, Mr. Garcia, does black magic always bad? Does it imply that the users is bad? Much like how a rifle owner is always inherently evil or
To
violent.
date, all of the instances of strong magic that we have seen has always resulted in abominations, unnatural activities, and just raw destruction and driving people mad.
Ali, there is one. Yes, and I did say that. There is one which hasn't been that, and I slide the dagger, the machete closer.
That is
This one didn't, and
That
this
is
one hurts
different.
those which we face. Maybe
Yes,
if we can
and
get
that one is-
maybe if we can get the symbol, if we know how to work out this, we can get the symbol changed so it works against the fire things. And I
There
saw
is
the
a
symbol
difference
thing.
between
I was drawing it when they
protective charms and wards are part of a lot of things, and that is what that is.
That's not a
What
protective
the
charm.
Bruja,
It is.
what
It is
can
not
be.
a protective charm.
It is.
The Bruja summoned fire to kill, and we are arguing whether or not the Professore summoning fire is a good thing.
I
Just
do have
because
to ask, was there a
She
third
used
fireball
chemical
that you
weapons
saw?
does not allow him to use them.
No, I'm not saying the professor can go and summon fire. That's a completely different statement. Was there a third fireball that you saw? Or did he make the fireball stop attacking you? Because there is one hell of a difference between the professor controlling the existing fireball, and the professor summoned a new one to fight. If the professor had gone and summoned a new one, then you and I would be on the same page entirely, Mr. Garcia. But you're arguing right now that one of your employees who figured out how an opposing corporation figured out how to make a product is somehow betraying you. As opposed to him making the separate product and then selling it under your name. He ain't done that second step. He's done the first step and then turned to you for approval. So you can tell me right now if whether or not we can trust you, because you're currently telling me that any of us that try and keep you alive by any means you deem as black magic ain't okay. And I'm going to say right now, sir, you immediately judging us? That makes me profoundly uncomfortable because you don't know medicine and you don't know what I've grown up with. So if you deem something as uncomfortable, are you going to be pointing a gun at me? I've grown up in the mob, sir. I ain't comfortable with your judgments, meaning whether I get to live or die.
And that is, your comfort is not the point of this expedition.
It ain't. I'm asking if your comfort depends on whether or not I live or die. And then you're going to hear a click under the table as there is now a .45 revolver pointed at you. Because he really wants to know this answer.
And I turn to Lucianne. It's like, the symbol, ignoring this, the inner symbol is a symbol of badness, but the surrounding is a protection thing. And that's what we were told. So you can find a way of putting the different symbol in. For that, we can protect ourselves from...
Oh, I see.
That's what I'm trying... That's why it goes.
Oh, my apologies.
Mr. Garcia, I work for the mall because I'm a gay man. You're asking how I knew Jackson? It's because he was the man who introduced me to loving the same sex. And every time I've tried to occupy a medical facility, I have had my license removed. Not because of my ability to keep people alive, but because of what I do on my own time in my own bloody home. So you want to tell me that you get to decide what somebody is based on an action that is irrelevant to what their personal views are? You and I, we're going to have a problem. So please, Mr. Garcia, please tell me why this professor keeping you alive is a reason that you have a loaded piece of lead ready to fire into him and end his life.
Monsieur Garcia, may I?
Yeah, Lucy.
I trust you, and I think you know that. I've trusted you, so that's why I went on this journey with you. And I have the impressions that you have trust for the surgeon here, for the professor. That's why you bring them along for this dangerous expeditions, right? I don't know what kind of world we're living in anymore. I do know that in order to continue, I think we have to trust each other. Just as patients trust in my ability to do the best I could to preserve their life and heal them. So too, I think that we have to trust each other in order to have a single chance of survive or even fighting this. So right now I'm asking you very simple questions. Do you trust the professor to have our best interests in mind?
And that is why I have not shot this gun.
To start, I say?
Clinton would like to, if this is at all possible, raise his revolver up, put the hammer back into neutral position and set it on the table. Look at Mr. Garcia and go, I do believe, sir, that before we make decisions about a person's character, we should at least give them a chance to speak. Would you mind? I'm going to say that if this person can incapacitate the 4 people at this table around him before we can do something to him, your gun ain't going to make a difference. Do you mind putting us all at ease
He has done that before. Mr. Larkin was able to do that, but...
Do you think your gun would have stopped this Mr. Larkin?
Oh, I shot half his head off.
It did.
And did it stop him?
Oh, yes.
Because
Yeah.
I remember the sergeant being very insistent that Miss Tyson shot the man with no head or half his head multiple times, and it didn't stop him moving.
They both killed him.
Yeah.
So do you
Let's hear this
think
in broad
that if the
daylight.
professor is a
Follow
problem,
the-
your gun is going to stop him?
This
Please
is
tell me it's a yes or no question.
the only reason that I even showed the gun, rather than continuing the conversation, was because you called it out.
That don't
I
change
do
my question,
want-
sir.
I
It
do
is a
want
yes
to-
or no question. Do you think
Okay,
your gun
can
I
we
is
do
start
want
wrapping
to
it up?
talk to the professore about this.
Alejandro,
Professor?
just how about if a bad guy shoots you, and you can use something which can throw that bullet back at them. We're not talking about creating something new, although it does have that ability. We're talking about taking it away from their control and throwing it back at them. That's all we're talking about. Would that not be a lighter shade of black? Maybe grey?
Yes, which is why I have not shot him. If I thought it was all black, I would have shot him in the first place.
Okay.
I believe we have not heard from the professor the most
See,
out of this
that is what I
conversation we
wanted to
concerned
do.
him. So, Professor, if you may.
I appreciate your concerns, Senor Garcia. You need to understand sometimes that all knowledge is power. And power can drive people crazy. It's true. We all know this. From when we grow up. We all know this when we read the papers about the politicians. But knowledge is also the weapon of the people. It's also our weapon to be free of the regime. To be free of the king. Knowledge is a weapon the elites use by holding it away from us. If we're the ones to possess the knowledge, with everyone having access to it, that empowers the people, and we're all on level ground. Don't the Americans have the same kind of distorted logic about their gun ownership? They believe they all carry guns around. Everybody's safe. The issue lies with the fact that guns cost money to keep up, to fuel with ammunition. The guns are the tools of war. Knowledge is the tool that ends it. Knowledge has no price. It is infinitely replicable. I'm merely offering to provide my trusty colleagues with the knowledge that we now know our enemies hold. Whether you use that knowledge for good or evil, it's entirely up to you. And we know the choices that our enemies made.
Professore, the question is not the vileness of those that we are being attacked by or followed. The question is whether or not you are vile. whether or not you have let this magic corrupt you, as I have seen all too many other things corrupt. That is the true question.
The answer for the time being is that no, I have not been corrupted. I've barely even
With that,
scraped the
Alejandro
surface of the
will
power.
uncock the gun. As soon as you say no, he'll uncock the gun.
But I trust you, Senor Garcia, to shoot that gun at my face or my back. The moment my moralities flip sides, I hope if not you, then perhaps Clinton, or Jack, or Lucy, or anyone else would make sure that such violence and corruption would never harm anyone.
If such violence and corruption reach you, Professor, my job isn't to end a life. I will do all I can to bring you back.
Doctor, I hate to disagree with you. Professor, I'm going to be honest. There has been more than one patient that instead of saving, I put down. If you are a threat to more lives than saving yours, then yes. Without a blink, I will end you. So, despite my mercy right now and me speaking up for you, please don't abuse this. I've had too many that do.
I just have one desire. If such fate is to be bestowed upon me, and I have to take the bullet, please tell my mum and my fiance that I died with honor.
If I am still alive, I would make sure that your family is cared for.
Professor, I
You
can
appreciate
promise. Professor, I can promise that you would receive a letter, that your family receive a letter talking about your great deeds. I can also promise that if I'm still breathing and you ain't being the cause of the death, that if it is within my power, you ain't passing to the great beyond before me. That is my oath as a doctor. You are not the first I've seen do things that can't be explained.
Now, Professor, as we continue this journey, you do know that you have opened a wound in yourself. You have started down this path. Do not let it go deeper into your soul. We have seen, Jack and I at least, have seen the corruption, how it is insidious, and we had to fight conquistadores and kill those that are 400 years past because they let this vileness into themselves. So just choose caution in your studies. These things will find a way of polluting you.
It was less violence, but more like a weird witchy grub, that's all.
Mr. Garcia, as a white man, I hate to ask this, but have you seen that the corruption that those that you had to put down was worse than the settlers that came into the Western continents?
They were the settlers. They were conquistadores.
I know, but I mean that you currently have someone that treats you as a friend. I think that their bias, at the very least, is going to be helpful if they do turn to allow you to put them down. Telling them you're the enemy before they are your enemy is a sure way to prevent that.
And with that comment being said, we pull back out as the train starts to keep moving towards Nairobi. An attack on the party, temper's been frayed, and we'll see how this all goes from next week. That was very interesting and a lot of good roleplay. I did not want to stop it, but
We did need to end the scene.
but also because a lot of our people are based.
Elsewhere.
It's getting late for people.
Yeah.
It is getting late for pretty much everybody, I think.
Well, you guys.
I mean, hands up if it's not past evening for you out of the players. Or past an afternoon where you have other commitments.
Trying to think of anything planned today. Oh wait, no, I've finished that project. I've got nothing else planned.
But you can't announce
Okay,
it
cool.
I might do some VR later.
yet. Ooh, I might do some VR later too. So there.
Good luck.
I have.
What VR do you do,
two.
Karsh? Because I know vaguely from MLP what he does. What do you do for VR?
Here's stuff, but way worse.
Oh.
I don't have several
Don't be so
thousand
hard on
hours.
yourself, but you can say that MLP has more experience than you.
I don't have several thousand hours in Beat Saber
Not
with a
several-
full green room and all the bits and pieces, and I do my VR offline because that's for me. It's exercise and fun.
Don't have several thousand hours, please.
How
I'm
many hours
looking
do
it
you
up,
have?
I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
I'll tell
let's
you
do, let's
when
do
we
the
get,
outros
when
while
we
he
get
does
to
it.
me.
Alex, Phoenix,
Hi, I am
TPKO.
Phoenix, playing Alejandro Garcia. No TPK. I did not assassinate a member of the party tonight. Despite the fact I really wanted to pull a Han Solo, I chose discretion. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see how well this goes next week.
Yes.
Eon.
Hello, I am Eon or Eon Victory. I've been playing Clinton Clay, who's, well, as the group has all discovered, a quiet old doctor who's not shy about his homosexuality, and as such has a very different worldview. If you want to find more of my general chaos, I think is the best way to put it, you can find me either on Twitch or YouTube at Eon Victory. So if you want to join me for the chaos, I stream once a week. Have fun. Otherwise, if you find me other than that, that's called stalking. Please don't.
Yeah, stalking me, stalking bad. Gabriela.
It wouldn't be the first time. It's really uncomfortable.
Hey, I'm Gabriela. I've been playing Lucianne. If you want to catch me, please follow this channel called Goblin Cave TV every Tuesday. In Central Time. As I play Lucianne on I can promote the same show. That's not how that works.
Yeah. No, you can promote the same show.
Okay. If you made it this far and then wondering, hey, where else should I follow her? Should I follow her on that Tuesday channel? I would say, what are you doing? Go get that checked out.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and all the bits and pieces.
Yes. And for I was getting to that. And
Oh,
for our
sorry.
folks on YouTube, please donate money on Twitch to keep me alive. Just me, Lucianne.
Well,
Thank you.
all of us, because that helps or pay for our shows, really. We don't have sponsors, we don't have anything. Everyone here is volunteering their time and volunteering, like getting these outfits and everything. Yeah, we're here to have fun. Drakonyan?
I'm Drakonyan, and I have been playing Professor Sean McEoghan, much to my enjoyment, and I didn't quite expect things to turn out as they did in this episode. If you just got here somehow if you skip to the end and on the recorded version, please go back. Lots of things happened in this episode. My mind is pulsating with everything. But anyway, we have been learning a little bit more about my character studies and how they can contribute to the party. Because he knows Swahili. Yeah, that's all. Nothing too special about it from a certain perspective, certain point of view. But I am a professional dungeon master, so I kind of thrive on these things. And you can find me on Discord, basically, at Drakonyan2883. If you want to chat for some reason, maybe you find me too annoying, you want to tell it to my face. I don't know. But the point is, it's getting late. And thank you for watching. If you did, if you didn't, go back and do it.
Okay. MLP, what's the number?
Oh, yes, 1,355 hours. Not that many.
So it's over 1,300. So yeah,
It's not over
that's one
it's-
game.
It's not over several thousand.
It's one game, and you had to spend several months not playing that one game. Well, actually, more than several months because of controller issues and whatnot.
Oh,
So-
no. Yeah.
No,
so
last year.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah. So
It's cheaper to buy a whole new VR kit than replace the controllers.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous.
so
Anyway, I'm MrLiveProducer. I have been your keeper for this evening, and the last half of the game went somewhere I did not expect, and I loved every moment of it. And that's why we do it.
Yes.
Yes. But coming up, I'll be tomorrow when we're doing, if I remember correctly, we're on our first game back of Circus.
really.
I know. If it's not cancelled,
There's more live gameplay. Wow.
Yeah.
I know. Shock horror. And you can
Most
also,
excite.
and you can usually catch me at twitch.tv/MrLiveProducer, where I mostly do VR content, shock horror, and other stuff's going on which I can't talk about.
Yeah. Yet.
But I really want to.
Yet. Hi, my name is Karsh Goblin. I am enjoying playing Jack Hunt. I'm sorry, Gabriela, about bringing back that trauma thing. It's not a personal thing against you. It's just character, and it's just yeah.
No, I love
and
it.
also trying to explain that it's not a bad thing, that symbol with the glowing dagger. It's like anyway. But we've got more shows this week. We've got one more show. We have the start of the second season of Circus of the Broken Chain. It's been on hiatus, been on pause for quite a while. Everyone has been working behind the scenes, getting everything ready of character backgrounds. There's even a map that's been made. There are plushies being made, which is just shocking. Full life-size plushies of characters. Character art being commissioned by players. Costume being made. Embroidery. It's been a weird couple of weeks talking about this with all the players. And we've also updated the overlay to have an intimate scenes, which is the showcase of that show. So that's tomorrow around 7, I think it's 7 ET, 7 p.m. ET in America. And it should be great. And we've got more CD keys to give away. If you do another 4 tomorrow, that's 12 in total for the week. And yeah, thank you Roll20 for that. And happy birthday Roll20. And thank you Henry D. Green for the follow. We'll be back next week or back tomorrow, and we're going to be raiding Kit's Tale right now. So our raid message is: we come to we come to share the love. Our hearts are warm and fresh with the Goblin Hearts. If you remember the channel, if you're not a member of the channel, don't worry about the Goblin Hearts. But that's pretty much everything. And I'll click on that raid button. We're going to raid up to the credits. So thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.